just wanted to make sure that I send some positive energy on this 2025 Giving Tuesday to one of my favorite organizations and major movers in this struggle. So just wanted to send off some extra healing sounds as you make it through your day, through your life, through the next movement. Uhuru. give like there is a struggle. Give from the heart. Karen Smith here, longtime supporter of Uhuru, KarenSmithDrums.com. Peace.
Uhuru. Uhuru. Let's give it up for Karen Smith. That was beautiful. Thank you so much to Karen Smith, longtime friend, supporter, member of the Uhuru movement, and Philly's own incredible African cultural worker, longtime supporter of the Uhuru Furniture Store over the years in Philadelphia, and an absolute fixture of the annual Reparations Telethon for Giving Tuesday. We're always so grateful to have Karen Smith kick us off with such a beautiful cultural performance. And I'm very excited to be here with all of you. Uhuru, Brendan, good to see you there.
Oh, Uhuru, good to see you as well. Very excited to be a part of this.
Yes, and to everyone who's joining us online on Zoom, Facebook, and YouTube, welcome to the 7th annual Reparations Telethon for Giving Tuesday, a fundraiser for the Black Power Blueprint and the Reparations Investment Company. We're going to talk a lot more about what that is and the exciting work that's happening in North St. Louis and many other places. And as Karen Smith said in that video, this is a call to give, to donate, to turn Giving Tuesday into a day of reparations. We have a goal tonight to raise $20,000 for the Reparations Investment Company and the Black Power Blueprint. And you can start donating right away by going to blackpowerblueprint.org/donate.
Uhuru, absolutely. And I believe we have the Uhuru theme song here.
Uhuru, 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 what do we do? Offer programs of liberation for African self-determination. Uhuru means freedom.
Uhuru.
Uhuru. So this year, we have an incredible show for everybody. We have an amazing panel of leaders and organizers from the Black Power Blueprint who are going to come on and talk about the incredible transformation that is happening in North St. Louis under the leadership of the African working class, as well as showcasing an exciting new project that Jesse just mentioned called the Reparations Investment Company. And this segment is called Inside the Black Power Blueprint Studio. And boy, do we have a show for you today. I want to start by introducing the visionary leader and the architect of the Black Power Blueprint. So President Onezene Yeshitela, as well as chairman of the African People's Socialist Party, Omala Yeshitela. And let's not forget, our economic work is revolutionary work. Now, let's go ahead and get to our other incredible panelists. So joining us today, we have Chief of Staff of the African People's Socialist Party, Akenge Mayele, AIWP Coordinator, Stephanie Midler, ORED Director, Maureen Wagner, APSC Secretary General, Allison Haney, and Outreach Director, Seala Miyenda, who's also the president of NINA. And next slide. Yes, do we have Seali joining us?
I don't think he's joining us at the moment. Okay. I'm not sure.
Revolutionary salute to Seali.
Yes.
I
just want to say this is an amazing panel we're going to be hearing from in just a little bit. And we also will have joining us the Black Power Blueprint Promotions Coordinator, Ruby Gittleson. We want to give a special salute and shout out to Kitty Riley, the projects coordinator with the Black Power Blueprint, who's currently going through some health challenges, but wasn't able to join us tonight on this webinar. But we want to say that Kitty Riley is deeply loved and appreciated, and we wish her a swift recovery and express our profound love and appreciation for everything that Kitty has brought to the Black Power Blueprint from day one. So, Uhuru, Kitty, Uhuru. We'll also have joining us tonight the APEDF Administrator, Janice Kant, who also represents Uhuru Foods and Pies in St. Petersburg, and the Black Power Blueprint Promotions, Janine Griswold. So we got an amazing panel. And we've heard the chairman say this before. This is a very important statement. Politicians don't make change. CEOs don't make change. It's the people who make the change. If the politicians or the CEOs do anything, it's because the people created the necessity for that to happen. The people collectively, through organization, make all the change. That's what this telethon is all about.
Uhuru. And we want to give a special thank you to everyone who has already contributed towards that goal today to raise $20,000 for the Black Power Blueprint. And again, remind everyone that you can start donating right now by going to blackpowerblueprint.org/donate. If there is one person who would like to give $20,000 or two people who would like to give $10,000 each, that would get us to our goal. So go to blackpowerblueprint.org/donate and please share this event with your friends, your family. Today is Giving Tuesday. It is a global day of giving to nonprofits. And our commitment, our goal is to make Giving Tuesday a day of reparations to African people. So to start us off, Jesse is going to tell us about an exciting new way for people to engage in reparations. Jesse, go ahead and tell us, what is the Reparations Investment Company?
Absolutely. Very excited to talk about this. And anybody who's familiar with the Reparations Telethon knows that we will be interrupting ourselves quite a bit tonight to bring you announcements on the spot about donations that are coming in. We're only 14 minutes into our event, but people are already going to blackpowerblueprint.org/donate to contribute towards the $20,000 goal. And we want to shout out Rachel, who put in $250, Becky, who put in $100, Orr, who put in $50, Chuck, who put in $100, Christina, who put in $50, and Sam, who also put in $250. That means, Brendan, that we're already at $800 raised.
All right. I think that's the Orr family. So the whole family is contributing in
awesome.
reparations today.
Wow. Shout out to the Orr family and everybody who's contributed so far. That means we have 19,200 left to go. Thank you to our calculator, Amanda, over here. And now I'm excited to talk about the Reparations Investment Company. And just to, let people know that Brendan and I are members of the Uhuru Solidarity Movement, which is hosting this telethon tonight. And we are the organization of white people working under the leadership of the African People's Socialist Party for reparations to African people, organizing in the white community to build material solidarity with African self-determination. We also want to salute and recognize Chairwoman Penny Hess, the chair of the African People's Solidarity Committee, who has been leading under the party's leadership the work of reparations from the white community to African people since the founding of the Solidarity Committee in 1976. And this Reparations Investment Company is an extension of that work. It is the newest initiative of the Black Power Blueprint, building the independent African economy. And once again, we want to recognize and salute the leader without whose leadership none of this would be possible, Chairman Omali Yeshitela, who's been fighting for African self-determination and freedom for over 60 years and is literally the one who made reparations a household word. And President Onazane Yeshitela, the brilliant visionary mind behind the Black Power Blueprint and the economic work of the Uhuru movement. The Reparations Investment Company is an innovation of the chairman and deputy chair that was created as an extension of the Black Power Blueprint to contribute towards the building of African community political and economic power in North St. Louis. Through decades of deliberate colonial city government policies, including the notorious Team 4 plan of the 1970s, the city has intentionally let the once thriving North Side African community deteriorate as a plan to displace the neighborhoods and gentrify the North Side. This has been underway for decades, reaching new levels with the building of the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, a CIA spy center built less than 2 miles from the Uhuru House. The city government is now exploiting the aftermath of the tornado devastation that we're going to hear a lot more about tonight as an opportunity to accelerate the plan that has already been in effect for decades. And this is where the leadership of the African working class steps in. This is where the Black Power Blueprint and the Reparations Investment Company become necessary to build self-government, self-determination of the African working class on the North Side, which the Black Power Blueprint has been doing for the past 8 years. As the chairman says, this work is designed to negate colonialism, to overturn the Del Mar divide that is a symbol of the legacy of oppression in this city that prioritized development and prosperity for the South Side at the expense of the North Side. The Reparations Investment Company is part of the African community's plan to build their own solutions, to reclaim control of the property, the real estate in their neighborhoods, and revitalize the North Side on their own terms. So what is the Reparations Investment Company? It is renovation that contends with gentrification. It is a joint program of the African People's Education and Defense Fund and Black Star Industries. Reparations for Black community-led revitalization through renovation of property and community ownership in North St. Louis. The Reparations Investment Company is the Black Power Blueprint's response to the fact that when you go to the North Side, you see literally thousands of abandoned properties left to rot by the city. It is a campaign to bring those properties under the ownership of the community itself, so they can be repaired into beautiful homes for sale and rental within the African community. This is part of the community staying in their neighborhoods and bringing power back to North St. Louis. It is revitalization through self-determination, as opposed to displacement and extraction. The resources that you can donate or invest to the Reparations Investment Company circulate within the North Side and contribute towards African economic self-reliance. This is not charity. Rather than the city government or outside developers coming in and deciding what happens to the real estate on the North Side, as has been the case for decades, the Reparations Investment Company means the African community decides. The proceeds raised from the sale of properties go back towards funding the economic development work of the Black Power Blueprint. In other words, the impact of one property being acquired and renovated is exponential. Reparations Investment is building a reparations-centered network of investors, donors, contractors, skilled laborers, and volunteers who contribute towards sustainable African community-driven real estate acquisition, renovation, and development to generate lasting social impact for the whole community, and you can be a part of it. So since the launch of the Reparations Investment Company, one property has so far been acquired. This is it. It's a beautiful property. We're going to talk to you a lot more about this later in the program. 2110 Harris Avenue. Thanks to an investor, we were able to hire Angel and Elliott Construction to install a new roof. So the $20,000 goal for tonight's telethon includes raising the funds needed for the renovation of this property, which is the first project of the Reparations Investment Company. And we are also now in the process of acquiring 2 new properties, which we'll tell you more about later in the program. And we need investors to purchase and renovate these homes. You can contribute by donating to the $20,000 goal by going to blackpowerblueprint.org/donate. And we call on anyone who's interested in being an investor or donating their skills, such as contractors, architects, electricians, flooring specialists, plumbers, and other skilled laborers, to contact info@uhurusolidarity.org or let us know in the chat. And finally, we call on you to come to St. Louis if you're not here already and bring your skills and talents to the Reparations Investment Company. So join the team, donate, be a part of this. This is so exciting. This is incredibly transformational work that the African working class is leading, and we have a role and a responsibility in it as reparations to African people. So having said all of that, I'm very, very honored to bring up Chairman Omali Yeshitela, the leader of the Uhuru movement, our leadership, the leader who, as I said, made reparations a household word. And the Reparations Investment Company represents the latest front of the struggle and the strategy that the chairman has been forging and leading for over 50 years. So we're very honored to have with us Chairman Omali Yeshitela. Uhuru Chairman.
Uhuru Kamara, thank you so much. I really just want to extend my appreciation to everyone who is here, and to Comrade Deputy Chair Onazene Yeshitela, who really is as you mentioned, the visionary who has projected the significance of this economic work in a way that has never happened before. And I'm really proud to be a part of this. And I wanted to also call on everybody to go to blackpowerblueprint.org/donate and make your contributions. We need to go ahead and get the $20,000 at least. I think that's really important because part of what the reality is, of course, is that everybody on this in this meeting now pays taxes, and these taxes go to various wealthy people who often, obviously, to the state and who give monies away that belong to poor people, abatements and things like that. And this is an opportunity for those people who want to make your dollars go places where you want them to go. We're talking about a very turbulent moment right now, where all kinds of aggressions are being initiated against Africans and other colonized people in this country and around the world. Extremely turbulent, where even things like ability for food to come into the communities. In fact, North St. Louis is characterized as a food desert. That's one of the things that the Black Power Blueprint has taken on. It's changing that. That's why you see the markets, you see the challenges that are being made to forces that would keep us living in a state of economic and political dependency. So I just wanted to say that this is really important. And it's a turbulent moment where there's almost an hysterical aggression, popular aggression being initiated against Africans and other people who colonized, troops on the borders, southern borders, to keep Mexicans and other Latinos from coming into the country, troops in Washington, D.C. and various communities of the African community to complement the existing military forces, often referred to as police. The threat to actually use African communities in this country as training grounds in the so-called fight against crime, violating even what used to be considered the law in this country. So there's just a serious kind of aggression that's happening. And there are people who we know. Some of them are in this meeting. Some of them are leaders of the Solidarity Movement who had serious disagreement with how African people and others are treated in this country and this world by this government, and needed an opportunity to be able to express that disagreement, who often felt ashamed and, as you know, would go through various kinds of changes in their lives and their appearances and things to disassociate themselves with what has been characterized as white people. And people wanted an opportunity to do a self-criticism for the role that white people have played, the colonizers, the settlers in this instance have played in expropriating value that's coming from the African community. And this is a project, the reparations movement that we have initiated. And this is a project that contributes to that allows people who want to disassociate themselves from the terror, from the poverty, from the degradation, humiliation that is conferred upon Africans and other colonized people, to be able to do so and to move with some kind of recapturing their dignity as people, to end this isolation that settlers and white people have voluntarily too often participated in. And this isolation is something that works against not only the settlers themselves, but against colonized people as well. So this movement, this work that we are doing, this reparations work, gives people an opportunity, settlers, white people, an opportunity to break with this historical aggression against African people that contributes to that contributed to the actual foundation of this country, the foundation of this system that exists on stolen land that has been developed through the theft of stolen labor of African people. So that's what people have an opportunity to do, and we're calling on you to do that. And I wanted to join also, before saying more, with the recognition of Comrade Kitty Riley. We have to say something about Comrade Kitty. She health issues preventing her from being here. Otherwise, she would be here because she's been every place that she's been required to be. She is a Solidarity member. She is the first Solidarity force who came into St. Louis to assist Comrade Deputy Chair Ona Zanae Shatella when she was taking on this work by herself, effectively in terms of economic development. And Kitty Riley, Catherine was here with her, worked under the harsh conditions and what have you voluntarily. This was something that we need to recognize, and she's a real soldier. And I know if she could be here, she would be here. So salute, Comrade Kitty. I hope that you are able to view what is happening right now and recognize the solidarity and salutations that's being sent to you, certainly by me, and I think by other people who are part of this movement as well. So we have a Reparations Investment Corporation, and we're doing this in St. Louis, where government, by policy, this is government policy. You know that there are instances where we have predators in every city that prey upon the African community, especially in the area of real estate, where it's typical to see white guys in pickup trucks driving through the communities with clipboards and getting addresses and things like that in communities that have been allowed to deteriorate through various kinds of policy determinations made by the cities and what have you. But in St. Louis, you have a real serious policy aggression. It's not just a group of white guys riding around in pickup trucks. It's the whole government that used the Rand Corporation to come up with what they call the Team 4 plan to actually destroy the African community. I mean that literally, destroy the community. So you have a situation now where the city of St. Petersburg, St. Louis, which created the first land bank in this country. This is the first one, and it came off this process of Team 4, and this land bank is the biggest property owner in the city of St. Louis, and they have used taxes, they have used code violations and things like that to take the property of African people. They've done this in the name of curing blight. And what they've done is created the blight by kicking people out of their homes, elderly people who could not, mostly widows who could not make repairs and maintaining their properties in a fashion that was consistent with code regulations. The liens placed on their property, properties taken, taxes used to take the property of African people. I mean, anybody and I'm glad that Comrade Jesse invited people to come to St. Louis, because it's hard to even imagine the devastation that has happened to this community unless you see it. We talked about a tornado that came through this city, I think in May, and did a tremendous amount of damage. And one of the things that's really interesting is that I think they said at least $1 billion damage. I think they said something like at least $1 billion damage was done here. But it's hard to make a distinction between the damage done by the tornado and the damage that had already occurred as a consequence of policies by the government in Team 4. Just horrible deterioration. And it has been this movement. It has been the project that we have initiated here that struggles to rehabilitate the city. And the rehabilitation is not some charity work, as has been mentioned before. It is movement work. It is revolutionary in the sense that what it does is that it moves to negate the authority of colonialism, the power of colonialism. And colonialism, as you know, is something that has taken and crushed the actual ability for people to feed, clothe, and house themselves, taking that away from a community. And so to take that back is a powerful anti-colonial movement. So this is what we're asking people to participate in. You may never have to go to another demonstration if you don't want to. But what you can do is make contributions to this project, which is an anti-colonial project, because it's a part of the process of transferring the ownership of this community, of the African community, back to African people. And it's also a part of a process of contributing to the self-government of African people here. So this is something that we really call on people to take part in, to do, and it's some of the most important revolutionary work that is possible. So go to blackpowerblueprint.org/donate. Make your contributions. Send money. Let's go ahead and do the $20,000 as quickly as possible, and then we can spend the rest of the time talking about wonderful things and how much we appreciate each other, etc. So again, go to blackpowerblueprint.org/donate. I also want to just restate the significance of the work that Comrade Deputy Chair Ona Zanae Shatella has done. She has been a visionary in terms of this economic work, the economic development work. She has built upon it in a fashion that we haven't seen occur before, and we haven't seen it happen anywhere in the world. I don't know any place in the world where the anti-colonial movement is taken on. I know that there's an attempt to do things like in places like Palestine. And the objective is to make sure that the property, the land that the people are on is something that never is allowed to go back to the Palestinian people themselves. And the process of doing that is to criminalize the Palestinian people by saying something like this is a war against a certain sector of the Palestinian population and not against Palestine itself. But that's not the case. And that's the thing that happened with this movement. And when I say this, I mean our movement, where the government actually made an assault on me, made an assault on Comrade Jesse Neville, who is here now, and on my wife, where they came with military vehicles, armored vehicles, drones, and what have you, flashbang grenades, etc. And the basis for this, in part, was the reparations work. The reparations work is a critical piece of work. And it is a bit of work that we can do that has so much dignity and integrity associated with it. It is revolutionary work. And that has been a controversial statement for some people who claim that if you're doing reparations work, if you're working for reparations, we've even heard somebody say that you have to be suffering from some kind of lunacy, or you have to be some kind of agent. Well, tell Callie Harris, Callie House, who in the late 1800s initiated a reparations movement, the first massive mass reparations movement that ever happened in this country and perhaps in the world, and where she actually organized hundreds of thousands of African people shortly after slavery into this organization, where she was charged, where she was put in prison for doing this, raising the reparations demand. Tell that to people like Queen Mother Moore, Otley Moore. In fact, a book has just been written about her, who was at the first tribunal that we created in 1982. That the first instance where the amount of reparations owed to African people was quantified in history. This is the movement that we determined that we were going to make reparations a household name, a household word. And this meeting that we're having today is representative of that outcome. So reparations now is something that's known by everybody, and it is something that's been taken up throughout Africa, throughout the Caribbean, where trillions of dollars have been, more money than actually exists in the world today, has been calculated to be owed to African people for reparations. So this is an important gesture that we are making today, and we call on everybody. You don't have to just be opposed to those who extract value. You can contribute the value back into the African community, in the possession of African people, in the development of our own community, in development of our own security, in development of our own capacity to be self-governing and to feed, clothe, and house ourselves. So again, go to reparations, go to blackpowerblueprint.org / donate and make your contributions right now. Let's go ahead and do the $20,000 if we can. Uhuru. Thank you, comrades.
Uhuru, Chairman.
Yes, and I want to appreciate you and Deputy Chair for answering that question. When we're seeing everything that's happening in the world, what can we do? We have a place to go now, and just speaking to everybody out there, you pay your taxes, and you might see just a minuscule fraction of that go towards anything that helps anybody. You give $1 to the Black Power Blueprint, you see that amplified many times over. And I say that as someone who's been with the organization for over 3 years and seen it grow. It's been unbelievable. And with the Reparations Investment Company, that just increases that potential. So thank you, Chairman Uhuru. And gonna speak a little bit on the tornado that you mentioned. I think we
Brendan,
should.
before we do that, thank you so much, Chairman. That was extremely inspiring and powerful. I just really, really appreciate that from Chairman Omali Yeshitela. And I think the message is being heard loud and clear, because donations are coming in. And I just wanted to shout out a few more people. We've gotten Aline did $25.
Alini.
Uhuru Alini. Johan, $130. Amir, $20. MQ, $25. Shout out to MQ.
Wouldn't be a telethon without MQ.
Definitely. We have Camille, $250. Uhuru Camille. Pete, $50.
Right, Pete.
Gary, $25. Greg, $25. Emily, $5. Susan, $25. Amy K, $25. Amy B, $30.
Yeah, Amy's.
Yes, Anne, $50. Allie, $150. John, $200. Chairwoman Penny Hess, $500. Uhuru Chairwoman Penny. Robert, $20. And Alvin, $1,000. Uhuru Alvin.
Uhuru. Alvin.
So we want to just reiterate the chairman's call. Let's get this $20,000 in. You can go to blackpowerblueprint.org/donate. Right now, we're at 3,355 raised, only 16,645 to go. One person can go in there and put in $10,000 or $20,000. And if 17 people match Alvin at $1,000 each, we will have exceeded our goal for the tonight, and we can keep it going. So thank you all for donating, and thank you so much, Chairman. And in just a minute, we're going to bring up Deputy Chair and all of the other panelists for this amazing discussion tonight. But first, we wanted to show you a very, very moving video that gives you just a sneak preview or a glimpse, really, of the truly horrific devastation that the chairman referred to in talking about the tornado on May 16th. So let's take a look at this video.
But God. But God. Y'all, I walked away. Me and my son, minor injury. But God, we can get another car. The tornado came through my car, y'all. But God. But God. North side. Pray for the north side, y'all. We just took a hard hit, y'all.
So they're willing on some levels to pass out food and stuff like that, but they will attack us when we try to have our own capacity to get our own food. You understand? That's the thing. So anyway, we're going to be doing a lot of stuff, and going to be, pulling together resources to help, our own communities. The black people need to get together, build our own community. So we're going to be working with that. Yeah. All right.
I appreciate that though.
Yeah.
We definitely need, we always the ones left out.
Always.
Yeah.
But that's why we have to be organized. We lay in the cut and let these Negroes say that they're speaking for us. Because we won't speak for ourselves, and this is what we're trying to pull together now. You know where the Uhuru House is, don't you?
I do.
On Alice and West Florissant?
Yes, I do.
Every Sunday, we're there for this community, for our community. Every Sunday at 3 o'clock. So that we can get organized and take care of our own affairs. Because this city built itself on the backs of black people. And that black people have to be organized to take back what belongs to us, just to feed, clothe, and house ourselves, to have a decent life. I mean, we spent $160,000 to build that basketball court down there, because the city wouldn't have the basketball court in there for black people. We built it. And this is what we have to have the capacity to do for ourselves. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, sir.
So every Sunday at 3 o'clock, we're there. And yeah, I live right down the street. Yeah, that's the house down there that the feds raided yeah.
Hakeem.
Say it again?
Hakeem.
Hakeem? Oh, where you get your name? Your uncle gave it to you? This is Sayali. Yeah. And this is your house right here. Oh, good to see you, Hakeem. And yeah, my name is Omar Yeshatella. Yeah, they call me the chairman.
Yes, ma'am. Well, we heard it. It came from the back. My son was in the back. I was in the front part of the house on the computer. And he called me, and as he was calling me, running to the front, I stood up, and when I looked up at him, the back of the house was falling. And we made it to the front hall as far as we can go, and it blew us out through a wall onto this body.
Damn near 2 months later, the only response we got from the city is a dumpster.
It's a dumpster.
And it's pretty much that y'all had a bag for it.
Had to beg for it. The alderman didn't come by, speak to us. The mayor didn't come by, speak to nothing.
That's sad.
Yeah.
They tell us not to mobilize and don't go out there and it's dangerous. But can you tell the camera, is this the people or is this the city helping you?
This is the people, the community.
Be on the city about, hey, where's the money? For people to rebuild.
Right.
That's the biggest thing. There's
Yes.
no money. They've been talking about the 30 million for I don't know how long.
Right.
Nothing has come of it yet. They say next week.
Next week.
And it's always been that next week.
Yeah.
So, anything that you need, please don't hesitate to contact us.
I will not, and I appreciate y'all so much for the
I have
support.
a copy of the permit here. It says roof is on the house, and then after the roof is on the
Okay,
house, that's when you turned off the electric. The government turned off the electric after a roof was on this person's house.
We're here because we care about this issue, and we are.
So when is it going to be on?
We're
doing the structural work when the time
I
was put on.
I understand, and that's why
When it was
we're.
put on the house, and why did they put it on the house?
I don't know that specific answer, but my point is that we are working to rectify it immediately.
I know, but the thing is that
Look, we are not perfect.
I want to say this. I live in Mount Pleasant.
Okay.
And this thing didn't happen there.
Correct.
I mean, and I saw damaged houses.
Yes.
But this kind of contradiction is only in the most impoverished vulnerable neighborhood. In this way, in the same way.
Wow, real and powerful video, and salute to the chairman for being on the ground right away, as you saw in that video, organizing the community, and of course APDF board president Ona Zanea-Shatella, and special shout out to Maureen and Chairwoman Penny, who you saw at the end there, giving hell to the mayor, Kara Spencer, that was really important to see that. Go ahead, Brendan.
I was gonna say, I think that was before Kara Spencer broke down and started crying. But I do want to say, you know, there were countless close calls and, you know, just an immeasurable amount of damage. And also there were 7 lives lost in this tornado. And really the city's to blame for not alerting the people. So, you know, this is to Catherine Brown, Rena Lyles, Dolores Holmes, Juan Balthazar, Larry Patrick, Patricia Pendleton, Jerome Robinson. So
I think it's important to mention that that the city, the mayor talked about how they forgot to press the alarm, the tornado alarm button, and we're looking at people who died precisely because they were not alerted that the tornado was coming, and they knew it. They had the ability. They didn't even use that alarm button, and somebody forgot it. So that was the explanation that we heard. So that, you know, that's a crime that was committed against the community.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we're hearing a similar excuse about the roads right now through the ice storm. Is, you know, they didn't know the weather was going to be so bad.
Yeah.
So it is their go-to excuse.
Yeah.
If we want to go to some of the slides just to see some more of this devastation, I know that video was already very, you know, eye-opening. But here's just, you know, around the community, just some of the devastation. And we can kind of just go through these, and then we'll talk a little bit about, you know, the devastation, and then how the people reacted, how APEDF reacted, and we'll get into that. So if we can go to the next slide. Uhuru. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, we just wanted to salute everybody that was on President Ona's emergency promotions team that came together as an ad hoc committee. Janine, Stephanie, Indigo, Amir, Dylan, Virginia, and Ruby. And if you go to the next slide, they were on the scene, giving up-to-date promotions of tornado relief resources for the community, covering the Uhuru Fight Back at City Hall, winning volunteers, putting the Uhuru House Relief Hub on public directories, and winning donations and resources for the relief work. So that was incredibly important work, and we're going to be hearing from some of them in just a minute.
Right, and that's, I mean, and we'll see just kind of what, you know, an actual organization that, you know, cares about the people, how, you know, how effective that is compared to, you know, the city's reaction. So one breakthrough by the promotions team was the work that Comrade Janine led to promote the volunteer work days. She created a relationship with the United Way of Greater St. Louis. United Way offered nonprofits the ability to post their disaster relief volunteer opportunities on the website, and Janine applied and got APEDF set up. We were then contacted and interviewed by their corporate groups coordinator, Ebony Sherrod. So shout out to Ebony. She was impressed by our program and accepted us as a site for corporate volunteers. And the result was that the Black Power Blueprint worked with close to 500 volunteers in just 4 to 5 months.
Amazing. And Brendan, I'm just going to jump in here and say, you know, one of the things that happened from that team, Janine made contact with a really, really wonderful business here in St. Louis called Work and Leisure, and worked with them to facilitate truckloads of donations from throughout the region being brought to the Uhuru House Tornado Relief Hub. And we from the Uhuru Solidarity Movement also had the honor to work with Work and Leisure and Raven and Jordan, the amazing owners of that business, to work with them and collaborate on a benefit for the Black Power Blueprint that raised $17,000.
Yeah, there they are.
There they are, yes. And we just want to, again, salute everybody on that promotions team: Janine, Ruby, Amir, Chris, Zoe, Daniel, Tehran, Curtis, and KC. And we want to open up the panel now and bring everybody on to join us. We're really excited to have everybody joining us for this discussion. And as people are turning on their cameras and getting ready to join us, I just want to read this quick comment from Angelica, longtime supporter of the Black Power Blueprint here, who said, "When I first came back in 1997, the North Side looked like a tornado had torn through after decades of deliberate disinvestment and letting the communities rot. That's why I appreciate the Black Power Blueprint redevelopment initiatives so much, since they contend with City Hall's plan of gentrification. I pledge $400, Uhuru." So that's $400, Angelica. Thank you so much. And before we open it up to everybody, I got a few more donations to announce.
Right.
Kim, $50. Amy G, our third Amy for the night. That's awesome. Did $25. Anne, $50. Stephanie, $25. Michael, $10. Johan, $125. Barbara, $50. Paul, $50. Johan, once again, $20. Lisa, $5. Janine, $50. Brendan, $50. Sarah, $50. And Peg heard the call and gave $1,000. Uhuru Peg. So our new total is 5,115, 14,685 left to go. Continue going to blackpowerblueprint.org/donate. And now we're so happy to have everybody on with us. And we just want to start with you, board president, Zane Yeshatela.
Uhuru comrades, how's everybody doing? This is so exciting, and I'm glad to be here today. And I just really, before I get started, I just really want to send a shout out to Philadelphia, because we had Karen Smith from Philadelphia that did the drumming and the sound, and we also had Renda, who did the jingle from Philadelphia as well, from the furniture store. So I just want to salute those two comrades. And also I want to salute my comrade, Kitty Riley, who has been by my side since day one, as the chairman pointed out. We got here in 2017 and we met with at least 50, 60 contractors. Kitty's blueprint footprint is on every single organization that we've created here in St. Louis. And I just want to send, much love to her and speedy recovery. And we're waiting on you, Kitty. So just, get well soon, and we'll see you, back in, with boots on the ground. So I just want to say, with the E13 tornado, it's really funny because Stephanie and I were on our way on the bridge going to Illinois.
Anna Kenge.
Oh, that's right. Anna Kenge. Anna Kenge is on this call as well. We were on our way to get a riding lawnmower because we was trying to see how we can, do the lawns ourselves instead of spending all this money on lawn care. So we were on the bridge going to Illinois, and when we got back to St. Louis, it was just devastation everywhere. It was, we couldn't even believe all the damage that the tornado had done, especially on the north side of St. Louis.
Uhuru Kenge?
Yeah, I just really wanted to, I'm having flashbacks almost right now after seeing the pictures and then thinking about it, just how horrific, the north side really was. I remember getting calls from everyone in the Uhuru house and just not having any kind of not in my brain thinking, what could that be? I'd never experienced a tornado, so it was really something I'd really, just having flashbacks.
It was something like, it seemed like every other day, and I was inside and they were saying, no, that, all this damage. And I'm like, no, can't be that bad. And it absolutely was. But I kind of want to hear Janine and Stephanie about getting in touch with all the volunteers and, working with all the volunteers and just putting all that together and seeing all that work being done and seeing the community come together and really bring it all, have an action.
Uhuru. Yeah, thank you, Brendan. I'll just say real quick and turn it over to Stephanie, because Stephanie really built that volunteer brigade. But the workout, Stephanie had called me. She said, you know, it's like early in the morning. She's like, that tornado. I have a Sawzall in one hand. I'm looking at a roof blown off. Can you make some calls and figure out what are all the resources that are available from the city or whoever, so that, you know, we can take advantage of it and all the whole community can take advantage of it. So I was like, okay, start making these calls. And you know, we could have a 2-hour presentation on the abdication of responsibility of the city of St. Louis. I mean, it's just grotesque lack of responsibility at all, you know, and it turns out, hostility towards the African community. So I'm trying to get these resources, and the city put out a document, a book, a little booklet, like resources for the community. And there was this tiny little section on if you need help getting your trees removed or your debris removed. So I called the 4 numbers on there. 2 of them said, I don't know what you're talking about. The third one didn't call me back. And the fourth one was a gal named Olivia. And Olivia says, where'd you get my number? And I said, well, it's a number the city's putting out. I was like, she's like, that's crazy. I just posted an ad on my social media saying, hey, I have a Sawzall, I can help. So this just gives you an idea of the city had nothing. I was trying to find anything at all the city was offering, the county was offering. The only resources I found were people like Olivia, her and her husband with a Sawzall ready to get to work, work and leisure, you know, just saying, hey, I want to help. It's just people in the community doing the thing, offering their services. Those are the people who came forward. That's who had resources and time and effort to put forth. So I just, you know, I just kind of want to say that. And then the other thing was that, you know, we had to really vet the resources and call them and figure out, is this true? Do you have a food giveaway tomorrow or on Saturday? Because half of it was not true. People were just, you know, reposting and posting stuff. So we made it our business to make sure that, you know, the African working class community who is devastated already, further devastated by a tornado, we don't send them on 2 buses and a, you know, boat ride over to some place that's closed. So we really made a point of doing that. And yeah, so volunteers, over to Stephanie Uhuru. Thank you for that.
Uhuru, that promotions, the ad hoc promotions team under Deputy Chair's leadership was a powerful team. I know we showed their pictures earlier, but that was an amazing team that pulled together to do all of everything that Janine is saying. And like was said, it really opened up this whole way for us to get large amounts of volunteers very quickly. And like what people have said, the community self-deployed. While the city was saying, don't self-deploy, the city was nowhere. The power was out for 11 days. The power was in the wealthy Central West End. There were no resources for the African community except for an imposed curfew, only on the north side. And then after 11 days, we finally did see the city, but it was code enforcement coming around condemning people's homes. Meanwhile, on May 17th, the day after the tornado, the Central West End, the wealthy white neighborhood that was damaged by the tornado, had the cranes, had the trucks, had the Department of Forestry and everything out there. So it was the community, the heroic African community of the North Side that was out immediately with chainsaws, pulling and clearing the streets, blocking off down power lines, helping neighbors, digging people out, literally, and cooking for each other. And we saw this for weeks. You know, the first couple weeks, people didn't have power and were solving it for each other. So when we talk about the volunteers mobilized, when Deputy Chair put out the call, you know, to mobilize as many people as we could to start taking on these community projects, the volunteers were joining the heroic community of the African, you know, North Side, the African community on the North Side of St. Louis that was out there, boots on the ground, doing what had to happen to survive themselves. So we had a lot of volunteers that jumped in, some just pulling over and saying, I just came up here to help. What can I do? And others really came through a lot of different, you know, ways that they signed up with us and stuff like that. So yeah, it was really incredible.
Yeah, I just want to say too, we got truckloads of donations. I mean, everything that you can think of that people needed when you lose your home, your car, whatever. We got tons and tons of donation. We almost had to say we couldn't take everything. Jesse showed a picture of the Aquaba Hall in St. Louis, where Ikenge and NPDOM, they organized all the donations. We spent at least 30 to 40 days straight giving out, food, clothing, perishable items, diapers, baby food. I mean, anything that you can name, we had it to give out to the community. And even Huru Foods and Pies, they set up and and served the community, live. They were actually cooking on site, giving people meals to take home so they'd be able to have something to eat. So this was definitely a community-led, project from the Black Power Blueprint, APDF, and the entire community. The whole community of the North Side was devastated. So I just really want to salute the promotion team and Janine and all the work they did to help, call these different agencies and get, APDF and the Black Power Blueprint in the mix.
Uhuru.
Uhuru.
Uhuru. This is really powerful to have all of this, like was said, like the memories are just coming back of this whole experience. And just want to appreciate what Stephanie was saying about the heroism of the African working class community on the North Side, as represented by the leadership of the chairman and APEDF board president, Onazanea Shatella, who were right there, whose home was also severely damaged by that tornado, including as well as the Uhuru House and other properties of the Black Power Blueprint themselves that were damaged. So it was like in the midst of all of that, your homes, properties of the programs, even the basketball court,
right,
that were hit by this tornado, repairing those things and leading the mobilization of the people and the fight back, the political fight back. It's hard to really put into words, the courage and relentless leadership.
Jesse, I just want to say too, they cut off the power to our home, the chairman and I home, on the day before he was going into the hospital. Right. So we had no power, for I don't know how long, and we wasn't even allowed to come back to our home for like almost 4 months, so we were just in the hospital, in various Airbnb, staying with comrades, for the past 4 months. It's just been horrific, situation for not just us, but for the entire community of the North Side.
Uhuru.
Well, I think that we have to say that it's not good enough to bring St. Louis back to where it was on the North Side. First of all, there's no intention to doing that even. There's no intention to even repairing that damage. But even that would not be good enough. I mean, I think that we have to talk about all of the resources stolen from this African community since the Team 4. It's been devastating. Starvation imposed on the people. It's mind-blowing. And what the city does is it takes the people's ability to feed, clothe, and house ourselves, and then it gives away free food. Like you can come by and pick up some free food on the corner on Thursdays, or maybe some free clothing off the corner on Thursdays. Maybe you'll see somebody with giving away free hot dogs, etc. They would do that kind of stuff. It functions as a kind of a pressure relief valve, so that people don't starve and people get accustomed to these handouts from the government as opposed to being self-reliant. And they would attack us, put us in prison. Talk about a 15-year prison sentence for the work that we're doing, claiming that we weren't doing it because we recognized the conditions that we are experiencing as a people, but because we were paid by the Russians to do this. It's an extraordinary thing. I mean, So I just think that it's really important to recognize that we want reparations. Obviously, we're talking about the Reparations Investment Company, but the city of St. Louis owes reparations to African people too. All of the stuff stolen from Team 4, we talk to people on a regular basis. Listen, my grandmother used to live in this place now. That's in a so-called land bank. They call it the LRA, land, what is it?
Reutilization.
Reutilization entity and
authority.
And
Yeah.
it's people's homes. People still live here whose grandparents and what have you own those properties, and they have no access to them, but they turn the properties over, sometimes hundreds of houses at a time, to so-called investors. These are wealthy white people who come in and clean up, and that's who the city is working for. So we want to get those resources too. I want people to really go to blackpowerblueprint.org/donate. But part of what I think is really important for us to recognize is the damage that the city has done. Even they took 2,000 acres just right down the street from the Uhura House and turned it over to a spy agency, national, global, what is it called?
Geospatial.
NGA, yeah, a spy agency that controls all the satellites and guides the drones that's killing people in Palestine and other places like that around the world. It took our community to do that. And that's going to enhance pushing the people out of the community. It's going to change the property value in this impoverished community so people can't afford to live there, can't afford the taxes and what have you. This is a situation that we're locked into. And this is the situation that this meeting, this hands-off, resources that we're trying to get right now contributes to rectifying. This is what it is that we're about. They call us some kind of unindicted, at one time, co-conspirators. And I think that everybody who wants to change the world, change the conditions that we live in, need to voluntarily become a part of this unindicted group of people who are bringing the resources, transforming the North Side, be on the right side of history. So, yeah, thank you, comrades. Uhuru.
Uhuru, Chairman.
Send the money, send the money, send the money, please.
Send the money. That's right. Thank you, Chairman. And yeah, I just want to unite with what you just said, Chairman, that, as white people, we owe reparations to African people. And this Reparations Investment Company and contributing to the Black Power Blueprint is a way to make that real, not just words, but to make it real in practice. And at the same time, we unite with the African community's demand that the city government, the city of St. Louis, owes reparations to African people. The demand for the so-called Rams settlement, all the money that Kara Spencer talks about, the city is flush with cash, has to be released into the hands of the African community as reparations. It is reparations owed to African people for this ongoing legacy that you're talking about. And people are hearing what's being said here, because we're going to bring up the slides again and talk a little bit more about the amazing volunteer effort that was carried out and is ongoing. But we are officially 1/4 of the way there. We have donations coming in. We have a donation from Carly, $50. Camille, who, by the way, has been on the ground here in St. Louis for months now, doing incredible work with all of the different fronts that we've shown you tonight. Really want to salute and appreciate Camille, who put in another $250 towards tonight's goal. We have Paula, $50. Stephen, $20. Maxine, $100. Kimberly, $20. Sherry and Betty, $50. Donnie, $100. And Thomas, $100. And I also do want to mention that when I announced Johan's donations earlier, I want to clarify that 25 of that was from Melissa and $50 was from Johan's father, John. We want to appreciate both of them so much. And that means we have raised $5,655. Remaining is $14,345. We want to remind everyone, share this event with your friends and family. Giving Tuesday is a global day of giving for nonprofits. People might be looking for a way to participate, and this is the real way to turn it into a day of reparations to African people. So let's bring the slides back up, and we're going to talk more about the people are everything, the volunteers that came out.
Could I just say one thing about the promotion scheme really, really quick? I know it's not the right time, but I just wanted to add that this is the untold story that is always covered up, always, not allowed to be heard about, the conditions that the Black community faces, but also the whole history of building independent communities, building independent economic development. And every time they build it, it gets crushed down. And that's exactly what this city was trying to do, use the tornado like they did Katrina to push out and gentrify the African community. And that was one of the things that, I feel really honored to be able to be on the promotions team and help get the word out about these amazing programs, the Black Power Blueprint, about the devastated conditions that the African community faces. And that is a resource that those of us in the white community have access to, that we need to use to reach our friends, our family, our people that we know that have the resources, because we have been beneficiaries of this genocide against African people that has built the wealth of this country at the expense of, the stolen labor and resources of African people. And then that story is totally covered up. They make it so you can't even talk about it anymore. It's like illegal to talk about the history and work of the African community. And that's where the promotions team comes in, because we work under the leadership and strategy of President Ona and of Chairman O'Malley, and bringing it to the white community and everyone that we have to hear and look at what our relationship is to these conditions and work. And it gives us a way to be part of a positive future.
Right on.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you, Ruby. And yes, please share it. Put it on your socials. There's still a lot of program left today. So we're going to go ahead and move on and talk about the Uhuru N2U Volunteer Brigade. So you can go to the next slide. We talked APEDF President Ona Zene Yeshitela. The office of Ona Zene Yeshitela led an immediate response to the F3 tornado that struck on May 16th. Thousands upon thousands in the African community. You can see, just the destruction here, lost their roofs, if not their entire homes. Thousands were displaced, including, as we heard, President Ona and Chairman O'Malley. The north side was without power for over a week. And while the city was immediately mobilized to assist in the wealthy white neighborhoods that got hit, the north side received only an imposed curfew, the presence of sheriffs. And then when the city finally did come to the north side, it was code enforcement to condemn homes, to cut off power from people who had just gotten their power back.
And Brandon, I want to also recognize Stephanie Mittler, who leads the NTU Volunteer Brigade, which does a phenomenal job, as you can see, and also Raya Fogarty as well.
Yes,
so I just want to recognize those two comrades.
Yeah, salute to Stephanie and Raya for the incredible work that they do. Okay, next slide. So here you can see, just more of the response from, NTU volunteers and APEDF, leading this response.
Brendan. Yeah, this slide is really powerful because this was Chairman the next day after the tornado walking the neighborhood, like we saw in that video. So that was covered a little bit, but also immediately under Chairman and Deputy Chair's leadership, there was a charging station with a generator set up at Karibu Outdoor Space, and Uhuru Foods and Pies, set up a booth, and we're cooking for the community as another immediate response to people, just getting people what they need: food, power, information, connecting with the community.
Right. Brought food and power back. So that first day after. So, and then, yeah, we can see that there, Comrade Sally cooking. And yeah, here's some incredible statistics from, just a little bit of what was done since the tornado hit. So 35 work days and 24 weeks, 450 volunteers on the ground, 25 gallons of paint used, 2,000 pounds of brick debris removed, 6,000 pounds of roof debris removed, and 300,000 pounds of tree debris removed. You would see the park, along West Florissant, and it seemed like there was more trees that had been uprooted than were still on the ground. So next slide. So Friday, the 16th, the tornado hit. We immediately put out a call for volunteers to help. And on Sunday, under the call to bring power back to North St. Louis. And just on the first day, about 100 volunteers participated. And you can see some of the work being done here. We had teams at 4 different sites, clearing bricks, trees, fixing the basketball court. You can see there and so much more. Like we were talking about. Go ahead. Yeah.
Brendan, I have to say about this first day, it was another testament to the community because we didn't have tools. It wasn't like we had chainsaws and stuff. We had buckets, we had gloves, and we had people that showed up that wanted to help. So you can see in that picture, these huge trees had fallen. And we were out there with hand saws. I mean, volunteers were going at it. And several people, there was one African man from the community, his name was Jesse. He pulled over and he had just had his roof ripped off. He was looking to get help with a certain thing, and I was helping to direct him, and he's like, "Oh, you guys need a chainsaw, hang on." Grabbed a chainsaw from the back of his truck, jumped out, helped cut up the tree, and then drove down the street to the Uhuru House to get donations, some things that he needed for his family. Another African man jumped out, donated a chainsaw that he had that was extra. Another person, this was what was happening on that day. The community itself, was already out and people were just jumping in and making things happen, along with all of these incredible volunteers.
Absolutely. And I remember I went to a hardware store near my house, and this was either next day or the day after. And somebody asked why I was getting all these supplies. And I was like, "Oh, taking them up to the north side." And he's like, "Oh yeah, I was up there yesterday with a chainsaw." And it was incredible. People were just coming out and doing the work. Like the community really came out. And we'll go through some more pictures of just some of the work days. So several more volunteer work days. And this is before and after of one of the properties where the entire roof, including the joists, had been ripped clear off the house. And this was not a unique situation. There were many, many houses where this had happened. So
And just to say, this is typical. Like we would show up with volunteers, and this one of Siteman Cancer Center, and you can keep going through them because there's a bunch of them. We would show up. This was WashU student group, over 50 volunteers. We didn't know how to tackle a job, how we were going to clear that brush, how we were going to clear that roof debris, but people figured it out. I mean, everybody put, their brains together and their hands to, the earth, as chairman says, and made the solutions happen. And it was just day after day after day. This was another group, this in St. Louis for St. Louis group that came out with like 20 to 30 volunteers, picking up debris, clearing the damage in the garden. That day was truly amazing. I mean, you can keep going. We had to board up this whole building, and there wasn't enough wall to attach the boards to. So we had to build, frames around these brick, structures to attach the boards to. People were figuring it out. You can see Comrade Camille there cutting with the sawzall. I mean, people just showing up and getting the work done. Yeah, 28 people that day. We had several individual work days. You can see Comrade Amanda there lugging an entire tree. There was a man, David Young, he lives over on Clarence, that joined us on several of these days and came out. Yeah, he's in the picture there. Kelsey and Brenna came out on several days clearing brick. That was in the rain. I mean, just day after day.
Oh yeah, because the bad weather didn't stop with the tornado.
No.
So there were plenty of volunteers working out in, more rain and
and that includes the Uhuru Solidarity Movement's Reparations Summer Project.
Yeah.
Was smack in the middle. And you can see all the comrades that participated. And the devastation was really intense because people lost their roofs and then it rained, and the rain was coming into people's homes. So I remember going into homes with a shovel and shoveling the water out the back door of these homes. I mean, it was intense. This is Kirkwood United Methodist Church. They said, "Oh, our goal today is to finish painting these 2 rooms." Okay, nobody has dinner plans, right? We're staying until this gets done. And they
finishing the job.
Yep.
Uhuru.
Arcturus, an architectural firm, came with like 30 people, and they helped us unload building supply donations from the trucks, organize all the clothing donations. That was an incredible day. They knew what everything was, which was really helpful. United Healthcare, an amazing group. Look at this huge group. It's another group we had to divide into 2 work sites out at Uhuru where there was damage and water damage that we cleaned up, and interior painting at a home that was damaged. An amazing group from United Healthcare. We had a couple community service volunteers, Curtis on the left, and then Brandon on the right, who worked with us through, I think it was 1 month where he worked with us almost every single day, doing incredible repairs. He was truly a very talented volunteer.
Yeah. I can't say enough good things about Brandon. Knew how to fix all of it.
Chicken and Pickle, another amazing group, separated them into 2 work sites, interior painting, loading stuff into the Uhuru Bakery that had had damage, and that whole plan was set back. Really amazing. Yeah, you can keep going. We can go through the next couple ones fast. Interior Design Association had their annual volunteer day with us. Did a great job exterior painting at Uhuru Bakery. And then the next one I think is Russell Co. They actually really struggled to have trained people. You can see them rebuilding a back porch. That was tremendous volunteer labor on that day. And then interior painting with that group, amazing volunteers. And then Built Solutions, another incredible volunteer group, interior painting with that group. That was just a couple months ago. And I think we're just the last couple. Yeah, SSM Health did interior painting and some cleaning. They were amazing. They had 2 hours to come in, and then they had to go back to work. These people were committed. They were amazing. And then I think this last group, if I'm not mistaken.
I think that's the last group we got pictures
Was that it?
of,
Okay.
but what were you going to say about
I thought we had one more, but that was the last one. So, I mean, I just really want to invite everybody. This coming Saturday, we're really saluting all of our volunteers. And as you can imagine, with all the volunteers that participated, we have a record-breaking 56 nominees for awards this year at the Heart and Soul NTU Volunteer Appreciation Party this Saturday, December 6th at 3 p.m. Central. Everybody can join no matter where you are. Come on and hear about all these amazing volunteers. See who wins the 8 awards out of those 56 nominees that have been nominated. We're going to have really great food provided by Uhuru Bakery and Cafe. Terrific awards, give back gifts for everybody that comes. So you can go to that tiny URL dash Heart and Soul St. Louis. And if you're in St. Pete, you can go to /Heart and Soul St. Pete to register for your event. And, like everybody was saying, when volunteers came to us and volunteered with this project, immediately they knew it was different because it wasn't a charity project. It was about contributing to bringing power back to the North Side. And people saw the difference and expressed it back to us every time, every single time. We're so glad we came and participated here. We're so proud to be part of this. This is what we were looking for. This is what we wanted to help with. That was a constant through all of those volunteers. So I just want to say, not charity, real solidarity. Donate at blackpowerblueprint.org/donate because this
And
is
yeah, I just want to say that this is our 4th annual appreciation give back. That's going to be happening again on Saturday. And there are 7 reasons why volunteers volunteer with organization. One is because they trust your mission, because you're mission driven. They trust your organization. They understand the impact that you're trying to put out in the world. They have a personal connection to your cause. They want to be a part of something bigger than themselves. And you just caught their attention. And they also, some of them just want to get a tax write-off as well because it's APDF is a 501(c)(3) organization. But come on out on Saturday. It's going to be a lot of fun. We got a lot of, like Stephanie said, we have 56 people nominated this year, and it's going to be a really blast. Uhura.
I wanted to just comment on Stephanie's contribution in terms of all of the people and why they were there. I think it's really important because even though, we have a certain mission in terms of transforming our community and uplifting the community, people also, I believe, saw this as a way to fight back. I believe that they saw making contributions, things like the efforts that they made to uplift this community, also as a way of fighting back. And this really turbulent, oppressive atmosphere that we're living in politically and economically and what have you. I just think that's part of what we're looking at. And this project is one of the things that really contributes to changing the political and economic configuration in the face of all of the mass kind of hatred and what have you being mobilized against the African population and other people in this country and around the world. So I really think that I really appreciated Stephanie's comments because I believe that it helped people to have a way to fight back, and in uniting with this community in the fashion that it did and continues to do. And I think that's part of what we're doing here now when we go to blackpowerblueprint.org/donate. It's a part of the fight back.
For real. Thank you, Chairman. I think that's really important, and just want to express my appreciation for that point. And looking at this whole volunteer mobilization, there were tons of people who wanted to do something, but they wanted to do something more than just be a part of remediating the immediate effects of a tornado. They wanted to take a stand in unity with the African community and the struggle for political and economic power. And that's what the Uhuru movement and the Black Power Blueprint made it possible for all these hundreds of people to participate in. And that is so important and so profound. And people are continuing to send in donations to be part of the fight back. Like the chairman said, people are going to blackpowerblueprint.org/donate. And we want to thank them. We want to thank Lisa, who donated $100, Timothy, $50, Mike, $50, Diane, $50, Elizabeth, $25, Gary, $50, Julie, $50, Colin, $25, Wendy, $15, Janet, $25, Annetta, $50, Jamie, $50, Jennifer, $100, and you knew you were going to hear this name again, MQ, $25. Sandy, $20. Susan, $50. Sarah, $25. Sarah, a different Sarah, another Sarah, $100. Corey, $50. Ann, $50. Johan, $25. Ruby, $100. Kara, $25. Leah, $25. And Janet, let us know in the chat during that discussion that she is pledging $500. Uhuru, Janet.
Whoa.
So that means right now we are at $7,690. Let's keep it going. We have 12,310 left to go to get to our goal of $20,000. We can do this together. We can make reparations a reality. Go to blackpowerblueprint.org/donate. All right, and we're gonna do this next section really quick. It's a really exciting component of the work here. It's called the African Independence Workforce Program. And then we're going to go into a brief presentation to talk to you more about the Reparations Investment Company before we then come back to our panel. So Brendan, take it away.
Uhuru. So here's the African Independence Workforce Program, Our Labor, Our Future. And this is another way that APEDF is really bringing, the people into the work. And go ahead and introduce the AIWP Steering Committee. We have Deputy Chair Onezene Yeshitela, Stephanie, and Janine. So shout out to those comrades. Next slide. Okay, and on Thursday, May 8th, USM and AIWP partnered to host a special fundraising webinar to support the renovation of the Buy Black Power building into a training center for AIWP and retail space. The setup featured Enzo products, Uhuru Planet products, Decolonase products, and more to show what the Buy Black Power store would feature. There was a beautiful space for speakers and the audience. And this powerful webinar program gave the audience, the vision for the Buy Black Power building and AIWP training program, and featured Chairman Omali Yeshitela, Chairwoman Penny Hess. I was on that as well. So Sayali and Hallie giving a tour of the progress of the Buy Black Power building. I believe Deputy Chair was on that as well. And Stephanie emceed with myself, and the goal was to raise $10,000, and we succeeded. We blew past that goal and raised over $12,000. So Uhuru, and that was an incredible event, and there were so many incredible products on display for that. Uhuru, and then immediately our donors' dollars were put to hard work. First, repairs to the roof. This damage was caused by the tornado. You can see right there. That got fixed.
Keep it going.
Yeah, and then this next slide is the beautiful new roof, reshingled front and back porches. So you can see, that money immediately went to work. And next, we're working on a project to expand the exterior window from a regular window into a picture window to display the products. So these pictures show the before pictures of the team working, cutting through the bricks, and where it is at now. The last picture is a mock-up of what it might look like once it's ready to display Buy Black Power products.
Beautiful.
And next, getting quotes for electrical and HVAC. So you can see that the work is always being done, and coming soon. The vision for the Buy Black Power building is incredible. Not only will it feature and sell products from throughout our movement that support economic development and justice for our community. So I'm very excited to see the end product of this. So it will also be home to our AIW. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, Brendan, I just want to say that we also was able to get the whole building demoed. So it's we got it demoed down to the studs. So now we're in the process of getting the HVAC and the electric and the plumbing in. Hopefully during the winter months, we'll be able to do that. And this is going to be a very powerful institution where we'll be having Uzi, Uhuru Planet, and the AIWP programs that's going to be housed out of this facility. And we're going to have all the beautiful Enzo products and everything Black, you know, we're going to have there where people are going to just want to, it's going to be like a small miniature of our furniture store.
Yeah.
But everybody's going to want to come there to pick up these unique products that we're going to have, African fabric. We're going to be doing Enzo products, painting on Enzo furniture and pillows and everything Black going to be there. So it's going to be amazing. Uhuru.
Absolutely. I was going to say, you know, I'm sure a lot of this looks familiar to the folks that, you know, the Oakland and Philadelphia, people watching from Oakland and Philadelphia who, you know, went to the furniture stores.
Uhuru, Brendan.
Yes.
Well, oh, okay. We have one more slide here. All right.
Yep. Here.
Yeah, I just want to add in, we people, you know, are always asking, is AIWP going yet? What's going on with the program itself? And we had won this amazing funding from the Latino Coalition, but that was taken away from the Trump administration. So we've been working really hard to replace that funding, applying for all kinds of grants. So that work is underway, but we're really confident that we're going to get that funding replaced soon and get this program going. So just updates for our donors. Uhuru.
The work's not stopping.
So. That's right.
Yeah. So we're going to just pivot for a minute to presentation. We're going to bring up Leah, who is an amazing comrade, member of the Uhuru Solidarity Movement, and also part of that grants team that we were just hearing about, and the project director for the Giving Tuesday campaign this year. And we're also going to bring up Kara from Oakland, who is the coordinator of the Reparations Legacy Project. And the three of us, including myself, are going to talk to you more about how you can contribute reparations and take a stand in support of the Reparations Investment Company and the Black Power Blueprint tonight. And then we'll come right back to our incredible panel. So Uhuru, Leah, and Kara.
Uhuru, everyone. Thank you so much, Jesse. I am honored to be able to be part of this 7th annual Giving Tuesday Reparations Telethon. It's really exciting to hear all of the updates of all of the work that's been happening. And we just want to pause here to make an appeal for you to stand in solidarity with all of this work. Solidarity, not charity. So we are here tonight to raise $20,000 in reparations, which is to fund both the Black Power Blueprint and its newest initiative, the Reparations Investment Company. So far, we have raised, let's see, I think we're just above $12,000 now. Oh, you know what? And I have some more names to read out. Not yet?
I'll tell you where we're at. So we got $150 from Ruby, Uhuru Ruby, Brendan, $170, Sharon, $50, Francis, $100, Dawn, $100, Carrie, $25, and Kat. Shout out to Kat, a regular at the Reparations Telethon, $100. Our new total is $8,385. We've got just $11,615 left to go.
Great, which is totally doable. I know that we can do this. Let's just get this done so that the African People's Education and Defense Fund and the Black Power Blueprint can continue this amazing work that we've been seeing all throughout this telethon. So if we've got just over $11,000 left to raise, you know, that's just 11 people donating $1,000 each. You know, so if somebody wants to go in and give that $1,000 and challenge a couple of your family members to do that, or call your friends to do that, we can definitely raise this money. And let's go to the next slide. We do have a $2,000 matching fund right now. So any amount of money that you give is going to be doubled in this moment. So that's really exciting. If you wanted to give $25, you're actually going to be giving $50. If you wanted to give $100, that would actually be $200, and on and on. You know, if you wanted to give $1,000, that would be $2,000. That's really great. So we salute that matching fund. make sure to send your donations into blackpowerblueprint.org/donate right now. And next slide. So the funds raised are, of course, going towards the Black Power Blueprint, including $12,000 to pay for the newly installed roof on the Reparations Investment Company Harris property. And we're going to talk more about the Reparations Investment Company, but it is really a unique entity because it's creating renovation on the north side of St. Louis for the African community that negates gentrification. And that is just, you know, I don't know of another program that is doing that. Something that you can give your money to that is actually negating colonialism. It's quite an opportunity. So go to blackpowerblueprint.org/donate and make sure to contribute whatever you can. Uhuru.
Uhuru, thank you so much, Leah. Absolutely. Incredible institution, and we're learning so much about it in this telethon. So my name's Kara, and I am so honored to be here. I really want to salute, of course, the chairman, Omali Yeshitela, who's the founder and leader of the African People's Socialist Party and the Uhuru movement for over 50 years. Under African internationalism, the chairman has been relentlessly fighting for freedom for African people and all colonized people. And I just think this is a brilliant quote. The Black Power Blueprint is a struggle for African community, economic, and political power. It is against the system that is responsible for our poverty and our powerlessness. So you ask, what makes these programs significant? They are part of the anti-colonial strategy for Black Power. And as Chairman Omali Yeshitela says, the Black Power struggle, and I just read that quote to you. So this is about African people taking power over their own lives. And that's why this project, as Leah was saying, is unique. There's nothing like this. This is the most positive and transformative thing that is happening today. Next slide. And we definitely always want to salute President Onezene Yeshitela. She's the visionary leader and operator of the Black Power Blueprint, which is the independent African economy happening right now as we speak on the north side of St. Louis. And she's also the African People's Education Defense Fund president and vice president of Black Star Industries, which created and developed the Reparations Investment Company that you're learning so much about here today. Next slide. So what is the mission of the Reparations Investment Company? Well, it's the bold vision of the Black Power Blueprint, which will accomplish the important work of reversing gentrification and colonialism and building Black community self-reliance. We are contributing to the capacity of the African community that is struggling for economic and political power as an act of solidarity, not charity. So if you are here, that means that you align with this mission. Please go to blackpowerblueprint.org/donate. Match that $2,000 fund or break it down. Let's get, you know, the numbers going, and every little bit counts, but we also need those big donations too.
I got some exciting news for everybody. So first of all, I just want to remind everyone, and we're you know, the clock is ticking here. We want to get back to our roundtable discussion with our amazing panelists. So we're only going to be up here for a few more minutes. And this $2,000 matching fund is on the table right now. As soon as we reach 2,000 in this appeal, that 2,000 will be matched dollar for dollar by our anonymous matching fund donor. And Camille, who is now ascending into the MQ status with her incredible repeat donations tonight. Camille heard the call and put in $250 towards matching that matching fund. So Uhuru, Camille, that's another $250. And Janice put in $1,000 of reparations for the Reparations Investment Company and the Black Power Blueprint tonight. That is incredible. That means that Camille's $250 and Janice's $1,000 will be doubled as soon as we reach that matching fund, and we're only $750 away from matching that $2,000 matching fund. So let's keep it going. Go to blackpowerblueprint.org/donate. And what you're supporting includes the first renovations project of the Reparations Investment Company. You know, at the USM convention earlier this year in March, we unveiled the Reparations Investment Company for the first time. And at that time, it was just a logo and a concept. It was a good idea. But thanks to the relentless leadership of the chairman and president, Ona Zanea Shatella, it is no longer just a good idea. It is on the ground. It is real. And if you go to the next slide, you can see the first renovations project is this amazing property at 2110 Harris Avenue on the north side. A beautiful building that will be the first renovations project of the Reparations Investment Company right across the street from the beautiful park. And we're really excited to say that thanks to a short-term investment from an RIC supporter and the great work of Angel and Elliott Constructions, a new roof was installed a few weeks ago on the Harris property. And if you go to the next slide, this is it, live from the front lines. Check this out. This is the work actually happening that you are supporting tonight when you contribute to blackpowerblueprint.org/donate. Be awesome. So you can see the work that's happening there. I also want to mention, you can see the windows were boarded up. By the way, this is the block that this property is on. This is a snapshot from Google Maps from just a few months ago. And you can see the effects not only of the tornado. In fact, that building on the left there was completely destroyed by the tornado. But you can see the effects of the Team 4 plan of colonialism itself, because the building right next to the Harris property had already, suffered terrible damage from years and years of the city's policies, the let it rot policies. So you can see this is the kind of thing that the Black Power Blueprint and RIC are working to transform, to negate, to contend with through genuine African community-led development. And we want to thank Trisha, who put in $25, Ahuru Trisha, and MQ once again, who put in $50. That means we've only got $675 left to unlock that matching fund. So continue going to blackpowerblueprint.org/donate. And if we go to the next slide, this past September, we had a really exciting event. We named the 4 units of the Harris property after incredible African freedom fighters from St. Louis and the Missouri area that included Moses Dixon. We don't have time to talk about this incredible person, but he raised up, a movement of African people to overturn the oppression and enslavement of African people. Callie House, who was mentioned by the chairman earlier, who led an incredible movement for reparations to African people. Dred and Harriet Scott, who are the ones who fought all the way up to the Supreme Court, the infamous Dred Scott ruling that fought for their freedom, and our very own People's Alderman, Jesse Todd, who that's a picture of him outside the building at the naming ceremony that we had in September. So this is really, really important, that we want to appreciate, the chairman and President Ona for inspiring this vision to name these properties after these important African figures. And we also want to appreciate Angelica, who's pledging $100 towards the matching fund. So that means we got $575 left to unlock that matching fund. Next slide. So this is just showing you inside the property, and we can just keep the slides going. You can just see kind of what the property looks like inside right now. And then you will see on the next slide what it will look like when we have the resources, the investments, the skills, the volunteers to make this transformation happen. The vision for this property is 4-plex rental apartments. And this will take at least $200,000 to do. And if people want to invest, you can let us know. If you would like to become a Reparations Investment Company investor and invest in the renovation of this property or in the acquisition and renovation of more properties that are going to be developed by the RIC on the north side, you can let us know. You can email us at info@uhurusolidarity.org. You can let us know in the chat, and we will be in touch with everybody who's interested in joining this growing community of reparations investors.
Uhuru. Thank you, Jesse. That's so exciting to see what the vision is for the Harris property. And, so there are some next steps that needs to happen in order for this property to be able to be moved into. The sewer systems need to be inspected. The electrical components need to be installed. And there needs to be some architectural drawings that are designed and secured. So if you go to blackpowerblueprint.org/donate right now, the money that you're giving is going towards things like this, the next steps to make sure that this beautiful housing opportunity comes to life, in the vision of President Onizene Yeshitela and the Black Power Blueprint. And because the city has let so many properties rot intentionally, we've been learning about this, the Team 4 plan, the intentional public policy of St. Louis to just let the entire north side rot so that developers can come in and gentrify the whole neighborhood. Because of this, especially on the north side, there is a dire need for more rental properties. So that's why the Black Power Blueprint and the Reparations Investment Company is stepping up and making those rental properties available for the community without gentrifying them out of their own neighborhood. And next, so in the next slide, you can see in addition to the Harris property, there are actually 2 more properties that are under contract currently. So as Jesse mentioned, we do need investors to, invest funds into making it possible to move forward with these properties as well. So these are gorgeous homes on the north side that are going to provide safe, affordable, comfortable housing for North Side residents, and I just want to say this is not only about investing in housing, because when you have safe, secure housing, you are keeping families intact. You are keeping communities intact. It's one of those foundational needs that everybody has. We all need housing. So this is what the Black Power Blueprint and the Reparations Investment Company is doing. It's providing that. So make sure to go to blackpowerblueprint.org/donate. And if you want to become a Reparations Investment Company investor, email us at info@uhurusolidarity.org. And if there's anybody, that has the ability to stand up, either in the chat or on the panel tonight, if you wanted to say that you're going to become an investor, please go ahead and speak up at any time.
Uhuru.
Uhuru, Leah. Uhuru, Jesse. Uhuru, Deputy Chair and Chairman and everybody. Just quick, I do want to be an investor because I have a few resources that my mother left me because her mother got money from running guns on both sides in the Civil War. So that is reparations, that has to be paid and to the African community. So anyway, there's nothing I would rather put those resources toward than, the Reparations Investment Company and pushing back the horrendous colonial attacks on the African community and empowering, the African working class under the leadership of Deputy Chair Onizene Yeshitela, the chairman of the party, and the Reparations Investment, taking that stand from the white community because, like everybody has pointed out, the chairman explained so well, this is a criminal government and we have to really loudly and clearly and vocally stand up and say we're not going to let that kind of attack happen to the north side and that we're on the side of the African working class to be empowered.
Uhuru, that is so powerful. Everything about what you just said, SG Ali. Thank you so much, and we salute you for that stand, for the stand of reparations to African people. And I am just so excited to let people know that the matching fund has been matched. We want to appreciate Chairman Omali Yeshitela and President Onizene Yeshitela, who collectively put in $1,000 for the fundraiser tonight. That is incredible, Uhuru. And we also want to salute Tanya, who donated $25 a month this year for a $300 total contribution. Uhuru to Tanya. So that means that we have now, and by the way, I can barely hear myself think over the click-clacking of the calculations happening over here. It is incredible. So thank you to Amanda, and thank you to all of you for sending in these donations and getting this total constantly updated. So, all right, the total is $13,110. Remaining to raise is $6,890. We can do this. $6,890. That's 7 people putting in $1,000 each. That's 14 people putting in $500 each, and on with the math if you can do that beyond that point. So thank you, comrades. Go to blackpowerblueprint.org/donate, and salute to SG Alley for stepping forward to be a reparations investor.
Uhuru, Jesse.
Uhuru.
Uhuru, I just want to say about the RIC is that it's going to be a full investment company. We're going to be having licensed reparation agents, you know, who are going to be like full-time, you know, in this investment company. We're going to learn the demolition business, because when we look at all the resources and money that we have given away to, you know, our realtor, and we love our realtor so far, but those resources can be coming back to the RIC, coming back to our, you know, to our movement and to our community. And we're going to also have a warehouse where we're going to have it full of Uhuru furniture, where we're going to actually have a component of staging, because, you know, when we are licensed realtors, we're going to be able to stage, you know, the properties for sale and also for rental or Airbnb or whatever we decide that we want to do for that. And also we'll be having the Enzo designs on some of those furnitures as well. And we want to really look into, you know, opening up Uhuru Wabinki, which is the Freedom Bank that we have established that we have not opened up yet. We want to give small loans to people in the community. So it's going to be this investment company is going to be a full investment company, you know, dealing with bringing reparations back to the African community. Uhuru.
Uhuru. Thank you. Thank you, President Ona. Uhuru, Chairman?
Uhuru.
Uhuru. Oh, okay. I thought you were leaning in to say something. Uhuru.
No, Uhuru.
Uhuru. Well, this is really exciting, and I know we're running out of time for this segment. So if we could go through this pretty quickly here, and I'm just going to go through these slides really quick. And yeah, just, you know, to reiterate what President Ona was saying, that you can bring your skills to this process. You can donate materials. In-kind donations will make a tremendous impact. We need architects, contractors, electricians, plumbers, painters, and more to make these projects happen. And if you go to the next slide, as President Ona was saying, this is about creating a full real estate capacity for the movement. This reparations investment company is going to have its own licensed real estate agents, or reparations agents, as we say. And this is going to be incredibly exciting, and it's already in the works. So that is, you know, more news on that to come. And if you go to the next slide, so again, we want to reiterate the call for people to come to St. Louis, be a part of building the reparations investment company. And I'm going to read to you the people whose names, the names of people who have continued to donate as we've been doing this discussion here. Amanda put in $250, Uhuru. Victor, $25. David, $10. Julianne, $25. Owen, $15. Lottie, who is one of the first reparations legacy donors, put in $250. Uhuru Lottie. Janine, $50. And Wendy, who is raising funds on Facebook, has raised $132 so far. So we are so close to 14,000. We're at 13,867, just 6,133 to go. And you can continue going to blackpowerblueprint.org/donate and contributing. And now, Kara and Leah, I'm just going to turn it over to you to just quickly go through the give back. So I know we're running out of time here, so we're a little bit of a time crunch, but I do want to give you the opportunity to do that, and then we'll turn it back to our panel discussion.
Uhuru. Thank you so much, Jesse. So yes, we have some great give backs because we appreciate everybody who is sending in money and is going to blackpowerblueprint.org/donate. So for any amount that you give from $1 to $249, you're going to get this great Reparations Investment Company sticker. Next slide. And for all donations that are $250 and above, you're going to get this great collection of both magnets and stickers. And these are all featuring different Black Power Blueprint projects and programs. Next slide. And for any donation that's $500 and up, you will get that same collection of magnet and a sticker and a wonderful Reparations Legacy tote bag. And next slide. And for a donation of $1,000 and above, you will get that same grouping of gifts plus 2 coasters, a thermal tumbler with an APEDF logo on it, and a small jotter notebook with the African Independence Workforce Program logo on it. And next, for a donation of $5,000 and above, you'll get all of those goodies plus an Uhuru Wakulea fanny pack and a Reparations Investment Company hoodie, which, I mean, who doesn't want that hoodie that you can just proudly display, you know, that you are somebody that supports the Reparations Investment Company. And next slide, I think skip, oh, no, that one, great, thank you. So, and for a donation of $10,000 and up, you will get your very own private Reparations Legacy tour of the Black Power Blueprint with Board President Onozene Yeshitela and Chairman Omali Yeshitela. Plus, you'll be able to have dinner with them. So this is quite an opportunity. If there's somebody out there that wants to send in $10,000, this is quite the gift. Yes, so those are all of our give backs. Uhuru.
Uhuru. All right. Kara, yes. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you so much. Yeah, so, you know, you've heard all this amazing information. You've seen the give backs. Continue donating to blackpowerblueprint.org/donate. And you can also write a check, and you would write that out to APEDF and send that to 4101 West Fluorescent Avenue in St. Louis, Missouri, 63115. And I believe you could do a donor advised fund. And I think we're going to talk more about that. And then also there's stocks that you're welcome to contribute stocks if you have them. There's so many ways to give and how to donate.
Uhuru, Karen, if I can just interrupt you really quick, I just wanted to say that I am going to send in $500 today. I'm so proud to be able to contribute to the Reparations Investment Company and the Black Power Blueprint. So that's what I'm going to do during this telethon. Uhuru.
Uhuru. I'm going to do 100. I'm going to do 100 towards the telethon tonight. And by the way, investors get a hoodie too, just to let everybody know that. Anybody who's thinking about becoming an investor out there. So, all right. Thank you so much, everyone. And, you know, the telethon is not over. We still got another hour, so people can continue donating. But thank you to Leah and Kara. Let's give them a round of applause. Uhuru.
Thank you, Jesse. Uhuru.
I do want to say one thing. I'd like to give 200.
Uhuru.
Uhuru.
All right. Thank you so much. We'll get a new update in just a minute. And in the meantime, let's bring back up my co-MC, Brendan.
Uhuru, shout out to our fantastic appeals team for that great presentation. And yeah, so I believe that brings our new total to $14,667. So just over 5,000 left to go. So 5 people donating $1,000, we can get there. So Uhuru. Excellent. Then if we will, let's go right back into the program. And And I feel like this is something a lot of people are joining in to hear about. So if we can get the slides back up, we're going to go ahead and talk about Uhuru Foods and Pies and the long-awaited Uhuru Bakery and Cafe there in all its magnificence. And I just want to let everybody know before we get started on that, if you are in St. Louis or in St. Pete, or if you want to come visit, you can order pies at uhurupies.org. So let's go ahead and get started.
I'm really excited for this section, Brendan, because Uhuru Foods and Pies is already legendary in St. Louis, just from the sheer fight that it's taken to get it to where it is today. And I'm excited to hear from the people who are on the front lines of making that happen.
Oh yeah, we're going to hear all about that. So it started right here with the initial Uhuru Bakery and Cafe building, 3723 Goodfellow, purchased back in 2017. So this was the first GECO building. This building is owned by APDF, and we'll kind of hear more about this. We'll hear about the history from some of the folks that, really had a hand in it in just a minute. Let's keep moving along though for the PowerPoints. So started smaller and right down from the Uhuru House. This is 4 or 5 blocks from the Uhuru House. 3719 West Florissant, purchased January 2024, and the plans were submitted to the city in May of 2024. Next slide. And which is where the fight to get the bakery permit started. So as you can see, the plans were submitted to zoning, and a week later, we're told that there was a zoning hold, which required a conditional use hearing to get a permit for a restaurant in a building where a restaurant was. So, and at this hearing, you can see the numbers there. The people came out and made their voices heard. 223 individual signatures, 114 business letters from businesses on the north side, on the south side, and 14 public statements during a hearing. I know, we've got people on who can talk more about this, but I know the city was shocked about this. And here was kind of the antagonist of this at the hearing, Terry Rose, the white nationalist, previous president of the elusive College Hill Neighborhood Association, viciously spoke out against the bakery. So zoning section staffer Sandra Long recommended denying the permit based on this one vicious lady. So the Board of Public Service claimed in their September 3rd, 2024 denial letter that the Uhuru Bakery and Cafe will be detrimental to public health, safety, and morals and general welfare of the city, because as we all know, cafes are just very dangerous. So there was an appeal, had to wait 5 months and pay $200. And then Uhuru calling on the St. Louis city government to immediately reverse the discriminatory denial of the conditional use permit for Uhuru Bakery and Cafe. So this was, the appeal saying, this is ridiculous, called on Mayor Tashara Jones, Board of Aldermen President Megan Green, the alderman of the 14th Ward, Rasheed Aldridge, and many others. Then February 12th, the appeal was held at 1:30 p.m. APDF hired an attorney for the appeal, and the community came out, attended the Board of Adjustment meeting on Zoom. More businesses and individuals wrote letters of support for the Uhuru Bakery and Cafe. And I believe we have a video of this hearing if we want to go ahead and play that.
I'm going to make a motion to overturn BPS's denial and approve this with standard conditions.
That's what it looks like.
What a great moment.
Yeah, as the chairman said earlier, it's the people who make things happen, and it is the pressure from the people. And that's what it looks like when you pressure a government official to make change.
Yes, it looks like them very slowly and dramatically announcing it. That was a great moment.
That was so devastating for them. So
that was like 4 hours into the hearing
yeah.
of sitting there waiting.
Okay. And these are some of the political officials that the people pressured into writing letters of support. 14th Ward Alderman Rasheen Aldridge, 14th Ward Committeeman Anthony Bell, and the representative from District 76, Marlon Anderson. So the people made them move. And another part of this fight was the creation of NINA, the Northside Independent Neighborhood Association. So the Office of Deputy Chair initiated NINA based immediately on the need for endorsement for the bakery from a neighborhood association in the area of the bakery, but also because based on the call by Chairman Omali Yeshitela for many years for the movement to lead neighborhood associations to organize and transform the community. So NINA submitted a letter of endorsement for the February appeal hearing, which really helped turn the tide. And we can see a little bit about NINA, everything that NINA's been a part of, born from the bakery struggle, but NINA took on support for the community after the tornado. NINA participated in the free food booth set up by Uhuru Foods, and you saw the president of NINA in that picture right there, making food for the community. And this was just 2 days after the tornado, as well as the ongoing giveaways organized by APEDF and Impedum. And this is another video of NINA taking direct action. If we can play this. Yeah. Oh, sorry, we don't have it embedded in. So here it is.
16th tornado made their voices heard at a town hall Tuesday night.
I have got no help from nobody at all. And all I'm asking is for a dumpster. The city got the funds.
The process is moving too slow for the people. I've heard through other town hall meetings, people are wondering where's the money at.
This is a legacy-defining moment.
Mayor Kara Spencer hosted the town hall. She acknowledged the city needs to do more.
Here we know that the work we have done is not enough.
The mayor also praised city crews, local organizations, and residents who stepped up as FEMA and other government entities lagged behind. Spencer added that while the city has removed tons of debris, they've only made a small dent in the wreckage.
And I really want to salute, President Sayali, who, that was just a tiny clip of that one, town hall meeting. NINA was at every town hall meeting that Kara Spencer was at to make sure that the people were heard on this, and the people really showed up too. Every town hall was crowded, and there was tremendous amount of pressure put on the city through this. So.
Yes, and then there was the block party, the Northside Community Block Party. NINA was making it happen. This was a beautiful event. And, so many people came out, and it was just a celebration of the courage and the fight back of the community. And keep it going.
Yeah, I believe we got a video of a little bit of that.
Yeah, here's a little clip. So for the sake of time, we're going to stop it there. that was just a little glimpse of that amazing block party. And, as we get towards, opening it back up to our panel, we just want to celebrate the victory of this appeal, getting the bakery open. It was truly a people's victory, the African community's victory. And it was an honor to stand in solidarity from the white community with this struggle and, be part of this process of over 110 people coming to the hearing, 25 people speaking, over 330 letters, petitions being signed. The NINA, the Northside Independent Neighborhood Association, arose from this process. The St. Louis Business Coalition supported this. The politicians who wrote letters of support, the attorney that came on board, and every front of the movement that came together. This was a true victory. And we just want to give everybody who was a part of that an opportunity to say a few words, to join us on camera here, to show that when we fight, we win. And as people come back on to talk about this, I want to let you know that we appreciate Christy for putting in $50. And we want to shout out all of the people who are doing fundraisers. Thank you for keeping those slides going. We have Kara, Frank, Janet, Janine, Johan, Leah, and Ruby who have active fundraisers going for this campaign. So help them reach each of their goals. And we are nearly 3/4 of the way towards our goal. We have only $5,283 left. Uhuru. So blackpowerblueprint.org/donate.
Uhuru. Yeah. And if we want to bring our panelists back on, we can get rid of the slideshow. I kind of want to hear some perspective on some of the leaders of this struggle, some of the people who led this fight. It was a long, drawn out battle, but the people won. So, Uhuru, whoever wants to start us off.
Hello, Brendan. This is Maureen.
Maureen.
Yeah, I just want to salute this program. I want to salute the chairman, deputy chair, and USM for this program and for building the RIC. And just say, I'm the director of Uhuru Foods and Pies. I was appointed by Deputy Chair Onezia Shatella. It's an honor to work under her leadership. And the strategy for the fight back really came from her. And the first thing was get out of the office, go downtown, go to the people, get out there. And, I really want to also salute Allison Haney and Janice Cant. And missing Sally Moyenda tonight. Not only is he president of NINA and done an amazing job, and he's quoted by public officials and newspapers, constantly, but he's also builds relationships for Uhuru Foods and Pies and is the operations coordinator of Uhuru Foods and Pies. And it wouldn't be what it is in St. Louis without Sally. He's not feeling well, otherwise he would be here. But yeah, it was a strategy that involved going to the people, going to the media, fighting back, getting the attorney. The promotions team did an amazing job with this campaign, just like what we saw with the tornado. And those few slides doesn't even tell the entire story. Sally and other people went door to door in College Hill, probably knocked on every house that is not vacant and talked to the people and signed it up. Terry Rose in the College Hill Neighborhood Association said that Uhuru had faked those names, and it's like they wanted to get them. And it's like the people were like, all they could say is, when are you going to open? When are you going to open? We want this. We want this. And, we also challenged Mayor Tashara Jones during her election campaign. I think a lot of people who were on this call were at the December 7th town hall meeting that she had. And it was just so much that happened. And the thing that's really moving to me is that when people talk about this struggle from the African community, they say, we won, the community won. It was a community struggle. And I'm just really honored to play a role from Solidarity in making this happen. So I'm already an investor in RIC, but I want to invest more. And I also want to donate $500 tonight. And just these two things are really tied together, the bakery, everything in the Black Power Blueprint. And we'll talk more about the construction and stuff. And I also have furniture that could be used for staging once we get that warehouse open. So,
wow, that's exciting. Thank you, Maureen. And thank you for your contribution and for being a reparations investor. And I also want to appreciate Ann G, who is contributing $50, Uhuru Ann, and we're getting a new total in just a few minutes. But Maureen, we want to talk about, and everybody who wants to chime in on this, we want to talk about the next stage. You know, this victory has been ongoing, and the next stage of this victory looked like the actual construction of the Uhuru Bakery, which is so beautiful. And we want to pull those slides back up and invite you and anyone else, President Ona, Chairman, anyone who wants to, you know, to chime in to talk about this incredible thing, or anyone that has been involved in it. You know, the local contractors and volunteers who are part of building out Uhuru Bakery. And, you know, we can start to see in these pictures the beautiful progress that's happening. Quality concrete concepts, leveling the floor inside the cafe, preparing to lay the foundation. You can see the work happening there. Finishing the foundation, laying the patio. And we go to the next slide. Victor and the Cook Realty crew framed the extension. This is amazing to see, just step by step. GBJ roofing crew installing the new roofs, rolling out the TPO roofing for the extension. And Blanchard Electric takes over West Florissant. This is an incredible series of photos right here. Just seeing the community, seeing the people come out, make this happen. Blanchard Electric, getting the electric set up in Uhuru Bakery and Cafe. Next slide. Victor and crew insulating and doing the drywall. And there's Janice. And we got to hear from Janice. Janice played a huge role in this process. Janice was in St. Louis. Janice lives in St. Petersburg, but she was here in St. Louis for 7 weeks in July and August to coordinate this incredible process under the leadership of President Ona Zinaya Shatella. Uhuru Janice. Yadira and her family painted the interior. This is beautiful work being done. And if we keep going, you'll see that other work that was happening: ceiling, floors, flagpole installed, drain clean out, hood cleaning, shades and hood. I mean, you can start to see in these pictures just the beautiful interior of this bakery coming to life. And I know everyone is very excited to get in there. And a new glass push out door. Wow, that is very nice. And there's President Ona, and there's Sayali right there at the entrance. And Ralph Zook, hope I'm saying that right, installing the cedar accent wall. So beautiful. And then on the next slide, you will see the custom cherry counters being installed, also being built by Ralph. And that is just absolutely gorgeous. So we're seeing just step by step. Finally, plumbing fixtures are installed. Very, very important to have plumbing at the Uhuru Bakery Cafe. So this is the plumbing fixtures being installed. And huge salute to Paul Kessler for designing the cabinets, these beautiful cabinets that were then installed by Matthew and Sayali. Paul Kessler, having been there in the 1980s, who designed the cabinets that were used in the original Uhuru Bakery and Cafe in Oakland. So this was just such an incredible testimony to Paul's tremendous stand of solidarity with African self-determination and reparations. And if we go to the next slide, and also huge salute to Hallie Murray and all of the volunteers who worked under her coordination to paint this beautiful mural on the building of the Uhuru Bakery and Cafe. It looks incredible. It's such a joy to drive past it and see it. And if you go to the next slide. And then we're going to talk about the pie campaign, but I just want to take a minute here and see if Janice or Maureen or anybody else wants to say a few things about this incredible construction that we just saw.
I want to say that I think it's really profound. Um, what we're looking at. I mean, it's really people building a real movement. It's not just protest and what have you. People are actually engaged in transforming conditions. That's a real movement. This is not just somebody running out to a demonstration, getting an adrenaline high or something like that. So I just think it was really, really powerful to see that. And because the struggle continues. And I think it's really important to say that because the delays that we had, the length of time, 9 months to get the permit to actually open the place or start working on the place, this was part of the political struggle that we were involved in. I think it's important for people to recognize that we have disrupted a real gentrification campaign and program that's happening in the North Side. The intent to just change it, the part of the process of making St. Louis a majority white city. We brought people back to North St. Louis, businesses that had left, people who had left. We see people coming back now as a consequence of what we've done. We see improvements being made up and down the West Florissant as a consequence. This is real movement building. And what it means is that it's not just a thing of disrupting a protest demonstration that the government is involved in, or would be involved in, or continues to be involved in, but it's going up against all the people who signed those letters, all the people who signed those petitions, all the people who came and groups that came out and worked on the building and things that we've done, all the people who brought and picked up resources from the hurricane, from the tornado. I mean, it's a whole consolidation of a movement that makes it necessary. What we've created is a situation where people who may never go to a demonstration, may never go to a demonstration, may never protest anything as such, unless you, unless the state messes with this work that they have such an investment in as a consequence of their relationship to this project.
Chairman.
Chairman. I just want to say, being out in St. Louis was such an experience. One, I mean, if you are not there or haven't been there, to see the effects of the devastation in the community from the city's, policies and plans to destroy the Black community and what it was, and to see this come out of that and to see what an inspiration it is to it, is really powerful. I mean, people stopping by every day when the construction was happening saying, when are you going to go open? What are you doing? I'm a cook. And people recognizing that, and just also, what Chairman, what you were saying about, this isn't just protest, the movement having institutions means so much because it shows, it's the concrete example of dual and contending power. So it's the political and economic power of the movement and of the, contending with that gentrification. And just, it was such an honor and so exciting to be out there and to make it the best that the African community deserves. And people really recognize that.
Uhuru, I just want to add a couple of things too, because this is Allie, and I just had felt tremendous honor and pride in being able to participate in the whole campaign for the bakery led by Deputy Chair and the Chairman. And, like Maureen said, it was about getting out in the community and down to City Hall. And we roamed City Hall, knocking on doors for weeks. I mean, literally trying to get the freaking city to support the right of the African community to have a bakery, in a food desert, in total food apartheid situation. And it just totally, and the whole experience, what Maureen was saying about going door to door, that Sayali and other African forces did. And Maureen and I went down the South Side and got the letter signed by businesses and cafe owners. And, you know, there was such support there. So I know that we are going to build the Reparations Investment Company in a huge way, you know, that there is, you know, once anyway, you know, it's the support was there and saying absolutely the African community should have all the resources. Why would we have all the resources on the South Side and be able to go to cafes and whatever all the time? And it just, the whole campaign and everything, you know, that the party leads has just so, you know, with the tornado and building Uhuru Bakery has exposed to me such a profound way the absolute criminality of this government and the city, especially in St. Louis. I mean, it's like unbelievable what they have done. Not that it's really that different from anywhere else in the US, but it is. It's so particular, outrageous attack on the African community. And it's like they won't let African people have businesses. You know, this was part of, you know, the deputy chair and the movement being out front on that, you know, and fighting for the resources from, you know, the COVID money to go to the African community, which they refused. And it also just exposed and showed the brilliance and beauty and tenacity and courage of the African community to me such a profound way, because like you said, everybody was responding. Everybody wants it, and it's coming, and it's right here, and they love it, and they want, you know, to be part of this whole movement. So like the chairman said, it is profound to be part of this movement and see the unity from the community and from the North American community as well. And we just have to build that over.
Ooh, absolutely. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
I just really want people to recognize the gravity of what it is that we're doing. You know, sometimes we go to meetings and the meeting is what we worked so much to make happen, but we haven't worked to make what the meeting was about happen. Do you know what I mean? Like you become very good at making a meeting happen, but sometimes we lose sight of what it is that we're really struggling for, what this meeting is about, what we are trying to accomplish. I just think it's really important for us to understand that this is a private project for self-government, for self-reliance. It's an anti-colonial project. And it's not far-fetched, as some may understand it. I mean, you know that this whole theft of Palestine by Zionists, much of the strategy that they used as stealing the land was these handful of people going into Palestine and setting up these little businesses, setting up these neighborhoods and what have you. And they were getting tremendous amounts of resources from throughout Europe and America and other places that's helped to sustain this effort. And over time, they took more and more and more and more, et cetera. And this is real. This actually happened. And I'm just saying that we are settling in here and calling on the whole world, everybody who can, to go to blackpowerblueprint.org/donate and contribute to this process of self-government. And this is not on stolen land. That is to say, we're not stealing somebody's land. We exist as a domestic colony within the settler colony itself. So it's really important work. There's a lot of gravity to it. It's not just a matter of, it's not limited to doing the bakery. It's not limited to the reparations investment corporation. Is all of that is part of a much bigger investment, much bigger project that contributes to self-government. That's the strategic objective that we're really working toward. And I just wanted to say that I think it's really important for us to understand that. And I like using that example because that actually happened in the real world that I was talking about in terms of how the Europeans would go into Palestine and actually set up businesses, set up communities, etc. And from there, and have those sustained and supported by forces from throughout Europe and North America. And that's how that's part of the whole project process they used to take Palestine, and very little room left, none really for Palestinians up to now. So we're talking about something that's practically possible, and we know it's possible because we've seen examples of it, and we've seen how frenzied the colonizers are as a consequence of the work that we are doing to rehabilitate a community and the people. Uhuru.
Uhuru, Chairman. Thank you so much for that. I just unite, and I know we're running out of time, and we have a few more things. We're going to run through them pretty quickly so we can bring up the slides. But I just want to appreciate what the chairman just said, and recognize what you're saying about the gravity of what this is all about, and that it is. I love how you said it. The greater investment, the greater goal of self-government for African people.
Yes.
And the end of colonialism and true power. It's in the name, Black Power Blueprint. It's about Black power, self-government for African people. And that's what makes this, truly a meaningful stand of reparations. That's what makes it not charity, but truly solidarity with African self-government. That's what real reparations is about. And, one of the many things that I've learned from you, Chairman, is that self-criticism, you always say reparations is a self-criticism for white people. And self-criticism is not just words. It's not just saying, I want to make a self-criticism or I'm sorry or something like that. It's not a real self-criticism if it doesn't involve rectification. It doesn't involve repairing the damage, rectifying what has been done. And that's why reparations, true reparations, is a genuine self-criticism from white people, taking responsibility for our legacy. The Reparations Legacy Project poses a question: what will our legacy be? Is it going to be the legacy of the slave master, the colonizer, or the legacy of reparations, of unity through reparations to African people? And that's what this is about. And that's what it means when people contribute tonight. It's not just donating to one program. It's contributing to and making an investment, the greater investment in the struggle of African people for self-government. So thank you for that, Chairman. And
it's also assuming leadership of that sector of the settler population, the colonizers, who want to go in the right direction but don't have vehicles to do it. And so we provide that vehicle. We provide the leadership. We provide the logic. We provide the boldness. We step forward, and it allows other people to know that if we do it, if you do it, they can do it. I think it's really important to recognize that, because people are in this meeting right now who had to go against their parents' wishes, their relatives' wishes, their best friends and stuff like that to step forward. Somebody has to always be willing to step forward and provide the leadership. And I think that's what we're looking at here. And that's what we're calling on everybody who is participating in this discussion, this meeting right now, to join us in. Uhuru.
Uhuru.
I won't disrupt you anymore.
Thank you, Chairman. And let's bring those slides back up. Thank you. By the way, shout out to Lisa Watson, our AV technician, doing an amazing job back there.
Yeah.
Yes. And also thank you to Jackson, who put in $5. Uhuru Jackson.
Uhuru Jackson.
Uhuru. Karen, who put in $5. Uhuru. Henry, who put in $20. Gemini, $25. And Wendy Craig, incredible comrade, put in $100.
Right on.
So our new total is 15,422. Only 4,578 left to go. As we're going through these amazing pictures, we're going to go through them really fast. Let's start just kind of running through these slides here, taking you to the Uhuru Pies, St. Petersburg, Florida, Uhuru Jico Community Commercial Kitchen, where the pie campaign is live in full effect. And we can just keep the pictures going. There we go. So you see, the pies being made in the beautiful Uhuru Jico there. in St. Pete. Some of the incredible volunteers in the mix, making the pie crust. And Janice and other people who have more pie language than I do, feel free to jump in. But yeah, you can see there's Sarah and Janice and other volunteers there. And there's Peg Uhuru. I know there's people I'm not shouting out, so I apologize, but shout out to Peg. And you see the this is over in St. Petersburg at the Uhuru House in Aquaba Hall. The Saturday morning market, 23rd season. Wow, that's amazing. That is amazing. 23 seasons of Uhuru Foods and Pies at the Saturday morning market in St. Petersburg. Beautiful table there, booth. I love those little pies in the background. And keep it going, keep the slides going. So you see the beautiful display of the Georgia pecan, peach crumble, strawberry rhubarb, chocolate pecan, mixed berry, and all the other amazing, delicious Uhuru pies on display. There's a big pie, slice of pie there, hanging on the side of the. And we can keep that. All right. So shout out to all the volunteers, all the people who came out to the market and made this happen. You can see the mission of APDF. Wow, that is quite a picture. Shout out to Comrade Janice there.
That was the Halloween on Central. We were dressed for the Halloween. It's a giant, thousands of people come out. We got rid of 1,000 flyers for the pies in like an hour or two. I mean, it was good outreach and promotions.
Wow. That is awesome. I would have certainly taken a flyer from you if I had seen you out there. And there's people enjoy, and there's Stephen Reynolds on the left. He just let us know in the chat. Right on, Stephen. Director Akile and little Katura getting ready to enjoy some Uhuru pies in Aquaba Hall in St. Pete. So yeah, and as someone who used to live in St. Pete, it's just a beautiful campaign there, the Uhuru Pies campaign, and always so exciting to be a part of it. And this is, I think, part of the Great Divide, as it's called, of getting all the pies ready for people as they come in for the holidays. And we can just keep going through the pies. So you see all the incredible work right there. Stacks of pies in the Omalia Shatala Resource Library.
Those are the boxes getting made up for the pies to get in.
And if you live in St. Louis or St. Pete, as Janice said, you can order Uhuru pies at uhurupies.org, and you can also donate a pie. So we can keep the slides moving here. That's a beautiful work of art, the Africa apple pie. And here we are back in St. Louis. This is amazing because it's ongoing. The first annual pie campaign here in St. Louis has been incredible. And just want to salute, there's comrades getting those pies ready. And is this in the bakery?
Oh yeah.
That's in the bakery. So
That's in the bakery.
Brew Bakery.
Yep. Those are the first pies coming out of the oven that our top baker, Allison Haney, ran those ovens for about 5 or 6 days straight.
Incredible.
Incredible volunteers. We had 30 volunteers participate in the pie campaign this year. Wow. So far in November.
Salute to Jan. The picture there, Uhuru.
Was that the Healing Spaces group?
That's the Healing Spaces group, yeah, that came through United Way, yeah. And chairman and deputy chair got to meet and talk with all of them.
So
left here, this is Kevin, and he walked into the bakery on the Monday before Thanksgiving, I believe it was, and told Allie that he's a cook looking for a job, and he volunteered. He said, "I'm going to volunteer until you hire me." So
He's good. He's really good. Great.
That's amazing.
And Deborah. People from the community, like, Kevin was saying, he grew up a block away from the bakery, and it used to be a Dairy Queen in 1971 when he was going to school in that school right across the street from the bakery. It's like just everybody has such history.
And we miss Makeda.
Yes, Makeda.
Yeah, incredible singer and poet.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Incredibly talented. Apparently an incredible baker as well.
she's a cook and a baker, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
These are people on the right there. That's Mr. George Bell from the water department, who's advocating for everybody in the water department, not only to get the street open, but to buy pies. So, and then these are customers that we met at Soulard who had ordered pies and came to pick them up. These are some of the volunteers who had painted the bakery.
He did a great job. It looks amazing. Soulard Market. Uhuru pies are now available at Soulard Market and pop-ups throughout the city.
People in Soulard love them.
And the Midwest region of the party and Pete Forces came and, participated. It's really great.
And, people are continuing to donate, by the way, as we're going through these slides. That was in front of the Uhuru Solidarity Center. That was awesome. Yes, that was really great. And thank you to Brendan for giving $50 to Frank's fundraiser, Uhuru. Right. So that fundraiser has now reached its goal.
Yeah, Frank's done a lot of, really incredible work with the telethon promotions. So shout out to Frank.
Uhuru, I just want to say, just being on the outside of this amazing team that has made all this work happen at Uhuru Foods and Pies and at Soulard Market, this is so historic, this moment in time. Uhuru Foods and Pies in St. Louis at Soulard Market, the Uhuru Bakery and Cafe opening in the midst of everything. I mean, they tried to stop it for the last 2 years, and it is happening right now. I just feel like people should donate now. We are on the cusp of exploding in North St. Louis with all these programs and everything happening. It's historic. We're going to have an institution that's open to the public every single day. Is going to transform the work in St. Louis. So I don't know how much we have left to raise, but this is the time to give right now to make all of this, just push it over the edge. This is a historic moment. We have to take full advantage of it.
And I do want to say, just explain a little bit to the folks that aren't from St. Louis, what the Soulard Farmers Market means. My grandparents used to come up when they were, much younger and visit the Soulard Farmers Market. And it's just every week, and it's thousands of people coming through. It is just a cultural hub in St. Louis where, there's dozens and dozens of vendors and the pie table. I was able to work it one day, and, we almost sold completely out. So it's just a great spot to be, and it's not easy to get into either. So shout out to everyone on the pie team for getting that spot, and now, being a staple of the Soulard Farmers Market.
Yeah, we were trying to get in, for 7 years in Soulard. We finally got in this year, and we were there 3 weeks, and I say sold out. We might have took 2 or 3 pies back, to the bakery. We sold out every single week that we've been there, and people just love the pies. And I just can't wait till we expand that as well.
Yeah, and the people know who Uhuru is now. So
we have an exciting announcement. So I think this is significant, especially because of the connection that the chairman was just drawing a few moments ago between the colonial reality in North St. Louis and in occupied Palestine, and the resemblance, the sameness of that process. And we have a contribution from Comrade Redbeard. Hold on. What's happening? Okay, all right, I got the thumbs up. For $1,948. And you might be wondering what that number means.
1948.
1948.
Yeah.
The day of the Nakba in occupied Palestine. So Uhuru, Comrade Redbeard.
And I want to salute Redbeard, who for almost 40 years was like what would you call it? The foothill, the footpad of Uhuru Foods and Pies in so many ways. Comrade Redbeard, I know you're there. I salute you so much. All the donations, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pies you sold to hundreds and hundreds of people, and baking, bringing your daughter, your family, so many people, driving the truck, you know, picking up pounds and pounds of sweet potatoes, getting them donated. And I think it's really poignant that you made this donation during this section.
Uhuru. Very poignant, I agree, and very inspiring to others who are watching, because Camille just put in another $250. Uhuru, Camille, that is incredible. So that's a total of $1,000 from Comrade Camille for Giving Tuesday this year. That means our new total is $17,670. We are only $2,330 away from our goal. We can make this happen. blackpowerblueprint.org/donate. Reparations to African people. Let's make this a reality tonight. Just 2,330. That's two people doing $1,175, something like that. I don't know. I got to get an exact number on that, but a little over $1,000. Or that's, you know, I'm not going to try to do math right now. I'll let Amanda do that, but we can do it. It is doable is the point I'm trying to make. I would like to put in another $25 towards our goal tonight, and call on people to, and Camille says, Uhuru in our lifetime. Uhuru, Camille. Uhuru.
Jesse.
Yes, Uhuru, Janice.
I would like to really unite with the chairman's call for investment in a greater investment, you know, in self-determination for African people. And I would like to be an investor in the reparations.
Yeah. That's awesome, Janice.
And I want that hoodie.
You'll be getting one. All right. That is so exciting. Thank you, Janice. And thank you to Wendy, who's also putting in another $25. Uhuru, Wendy. And President Onazane Shatella says, Uhuru Redbeard, this is what real solidarity looks like. Right on. So we're coming towards the end. We didn't get through all of our slides though. But we are coming towards the end. We can try to flip through a few more. We're going to go really fast here. We usually have 24 hours, but we shortened things a little bit this year. So, but we want to encourage people to continue contributing. I confidently feel.
What is the new total, Jesse?
The new total is we're getting a new total right now, actually. Oh, we have only $2,280 left to raise. I truly feel we can do that. Even in the next 5 minutes, I know we can do it. blackpowerblueprint.org/donate. So as people are continuing to contribute, we'll continue to shout you out and thank you. We do want to go ahead and just run through the last few segments here as quickly as we can.
Uhuru, Jesse, I'll do the 280.
Whoa, okay, 280. 280 from SG Alley. That means
welcome everyone.
That means we only have 2,000 left to raise, 2,000 to meet our goal of $20,000 in reparations for the Reparations Investment Company and the Black Power Blueprint, the greater investment in self-government for African people.
It's going to match Camille's 250.
Leah is matching Camille's last 250. So that's another 250. That means we have 1,000. Uhuru to Leah. Uhuru. That means we have 1,000.
750.
Amanda over here is going to do another 250. Uhuru, Amanda. We have 1,500 left to raise. We can do this. Anybody else want to match Amanda, Leah, and Camille at 250? If just 7 people do that, we will meet our goal tonight. 6 people. $1,500 more to go. And we can have that video playing, you know, as people are sending in their donations. So this is the beautiful Uhuru Bakery and Cafe.
Hi, welcome everyone. Uhuru. The Uhuru Foods and Pies is an economic development project of the EDF and Black Star Industries. And you know, this is basically just to have economic development for the Black community, and so that we can support and create our own institutions.
It's all this lifting stuff up to the top all the way around, throwing it off evenly so it'll be all around the pie, not just on one side of the pie, through the whole pie.
And that's the pecan pie?
Yeah, that's the chocolate pecan pie.
Ooh.
Right. On this side is the kitchen, and this is actually where the baking takes place. We have pies ready to go in. We got pies in the oven. We've been busy, and we're always getting more ready. So you all order these pies. We're doing it for you. Order these pies now. I hope to see folks come down and really, just get to see what Black builds. Get to see the things that Black is building in the city of St. Louis, and what that means for us having our own way of supporting ourselves, our own economic development, and being able to actually hire and have something for us to do. That's the centerpiece. That's the heart of this. Is the heart of the whole thing. Africa is the heart of it all.
We ordered them and we're going out of town, but we couldn't leave without it. That's right. Come out and get yours. You won't be sorry. That's right. You won't be sorry. Thank you. Happy holidays. All right.
That was so good.
Yes.
Wow. That was incredible. So yes, we are going to close out in just a minute, but we do want to just let people know about the incredible Shambhala Uhuru Freedom Farm. This is such an exciting new development in the Black Power Blueprint that we want to just share with people as people are continuing to go in and contribute towards just the last $1,500 that we have left to raise at blackpowerblueprint.org/donate. So we can keep the slides running. We're going to go through all this pretty quickly, but I think we have a brief video here we want to show.
So this is right across from the basketball court. Just to say, this is like, you can see the basketball court and the African flag flying across the street there. So it's located right in the whole West Florissant corridor, the Black Power Blueprint corridor, West Florissant.
Wow. So this is an expansion of the Gary Brooks Black Power Community Garden, which produces 1,000 pounds of produce annually. And also want to give just another salute to Comrade Kitty, who's always played a huge role in that garden. And this is liberating territory. These 3 lots are all connected 1/3 of an acre of land for this farm at 3901 and 3905 West Florissant and 2189 Linton Avenue. So this is so amazing. And the Urban Agriculture Innovative Program grant was awarded to APEDF to advance the goals of bringing food security to North St. Louis. And this is mind-blowing. So this is the layout. And President Ona, maybe if you want to say a few words about this or give us a little bit of a...
Uhura, yeah, we're just going to have a full-fledged farm that's going to be taking place. We're going to have on the back here, we have the trees, the berry trees, cherry, apples. We're going to have a stand where we can actually sell the vegetables. We'll have a pavilion. We have a beautiful entryway that people can walk right up off of Linton Avenue into the farm. We have about 25 raised beds with all kind of vegetables in it. We have a children's circle. We're going to have parking. We're going to place to store all of our materials. And also we have a place where we will, have training, cooking, in that site as well. Everything that we grow is going to be contributed to the bakery. All the herbs. We're going to grow black-eyed peas. We're going to have a section for stage, where we can bundle that and sell that as well. It's going to be a full fledged farm that's going to be very welcoming to the community. So we're looking forward to putting this out more. You just saw the people grading, 3 lots, which is about 16,000 square feet. And we're going to be, making it happen during the summer. We also testing the soil to see what kind of soil is underneath the ground before we start, planting and putting everything out. So it's a big undertaking, but we're going to be working over the winter to get some of the structures in place. By spring, we'll be able to plant and be ready to harvest.
Uhuru, President Ona, and I'm excited.
And I just want to shout out Kitty Riley again as well, who really made this layout happen with the engineers and the city, and combining the lots with Janice. It's just been a tremendous process that we're undergoing right now, and it's going to be phenomenal. Shambhala Uhuru means freedom farm. And it will be an extension of the Gary Brooks Community Garden.
Uhuru, and it looks like our audience is very excited about Shambhala Uhuru. And Comrade Angelica has pledged $500 to Shambhala. Shout out to Angelica.
Great.
And we also, we want to thank Angelica, and we also want to thank the Secretary General of the African People's Socialist Party, Mwezi Odom, who put in $50.
All right. You're right.
As well as MQ, another $25 from MQ, and Sarah L, $100. We only have $825 left to raise.
Oh my goodness.
Let's do it. We can make this happen. This is so exciting. blackpowerblueprint.org/donate. $825 left to go.
Okay, so me and the chairman will do another 200 on top of our 1,000. So that's 1,200.
Uhuru, Chairman, President Ona, that's
Uhuru.
625 left to go.
Come on, Comrade.
I have $375 left till I make my goal. And I will guarantee either I've got a few family members outstanding, either they're going to donate it or I will donate it. But that 375 will be coming in.
Ruby.
That is $250 left.
$250 left to go. 20,000.
Don't forget the chickens. They're gonna need somewhere.
Oh yeah, that's right. We're gonna have a chicken.
Chicken
coop. Yeah.
They'll get you run in between the trees according to the foodscape.
And there's compost somewhere in there
Yep.
too. A compost situation.
Yes.
Oh, Uhuru Janine, another 50.
Uhuru Janine, only $200 left to go.
Wow.
All right. And I know we have other live fundraisers at the moment, which if they're all met, will exceed the 20,000 mark. But
Johan is 200 left. Yeah.
You feel pretty great to just hit that now.
And right now we're working on the next slide. We're going to be going to 94.1 FM radio station.
Yeah.
Chairman, if you want to talk about that. This is
Yeah,
the
that's
building. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Chairman.
Yeah, that's going to be really important. This is part of all of the development, all of the work that's being done in that West Florissant corridor. And this is right across the street from the Uhuru House, right next to the Garrett Brooks Garden. This is the building that we're looking at now that we've purchased already, that's been purchased already. And the radio station is going to go in there. It's going to be a magnificent station. We're going to see just a real kind of development. We're just really raising up that entire community and people being able to say who they are, people being able to represent themselves, be able to view themselves, hear themselves through our own institutions. So that's incredibly important. It's part of and all of the work that we're talking about in terms of the gravity of this work. It's part of it, So self-government, self-definition, which is what the radio station contributes to as well. So it's really powerful. And all of the stuff that we're doing today, right now, contributes to our capacity to make this work happen. And it gives real significance to the question of reparations. And people have said, well, what's going to happen to who's going to get it and this kind of stuff. And what you're seeing is what happens. You're looking at you're looking at the consequences of what it is that you're given. So there's no question about that. There are people who hoodwink and steal from the people and have been promising for years and years they were going to create some kind of institution, never develop anything.
Yeah.
Here you can see it all the time. We make regular reports on this is the work we're doing and this is where the resources we're collecting are going.
And this used to be this is where Mr. Gary used to live at. Wow. So this is a really special building. We have a mirror on that building with him on it as well. So to be the radio station, is very, very powerful. Don't we have the video of we've demoed the whole inside of this building already? Don't we have a little quick video of Kitty going through that?
Let's take a look at that video. And before we click play on that, I just want to thank Renda, who donated $75.
Oh!
Yes, that is really exciting. Thank you so much.
Renda. And Amir. And Amir.
Oh, yeah.
Amir. Wonderful Amir.
The jingle that you heard earlier, the entry was developed and produced by Renda. We want to Renda.
Renda. We also want to thank Gregory. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
And Amir.
Yes, Renda and Amir. Uhuru. We also want to thank Gregory, who donated $25. Uhuru Gregory. And we want to appreciate Indigo, who put in $50.
Right on.
That means we have just $50 left.
Oh my goodness.
So we're going to close it there. No, just kidding. Go ahead and put in that $50, blackpowerblueprint.org/donate, and let's take a look at this video.
Uhuru. This is the current entrance to 4029 West Florissant, what we call Mr. Gary's old house. And this is the commercial property on the downstairs, earmarked for Uhuru Radio. The front facade is going to be redesigned by Deputy Chair, owners and Chatella. It'll be more or less glass windows like a commercial property has. We scan the room and you can see it goes back 31 feet, 10 inches to the next corner. And we have 2 windows spanning the back of the room. We have a door to the outside where it's a gravel, not level, but it's a graveled area and a yard with grass, etc. And then we hit the next corner and we see we have a door, and that door leads up to the apartment upstairs. This is the upstairs apartment, open to what was a bedroom, could be, you know, multi-purpose room. And then over here is the bathroom. This is typical apartment bathroom. And this area was the dining room, and it walks towards what was the living room.
So we'll have offices, upstairs for the radio station. We look forward to Black Power 94.1 coming to St. Louis. Keeping St. Louis Black is the call, so we're really excited for this new development.
So exciting. Thank you, President Ona, and thank you, Chairman. I love what the Chairman said, that self-government and self-definition. That is really powerful. And I want to just salute Mike Reeves, who put in $25. Johan, who pledged another $50. And Jamie, who put in $25. That means, as of this moment, 9:13 p.m., towards our goal of $20,000, we have raised $20,050.
We did it, comrades.
Reparations
now. Can you play the video of the chairman, the last video?
That's perfect for right now.
Yeah.
Got to keep showing up until they give you all those accolades you feel you deserve. Until they call you chairman, until they call you a genius, until they call you the greatest of all time. You feel me?
Wow, this was so powerful. Thank you so much to Chairman Omalia Shatella and President Ona Zanea Shatella. It was an incredible honor to have you on this program. Salute your relentless, courageous leadership, visionary leadership that is changing the world. And thank you to all of the amazing panelists. Thank you to
the whole team.
Absolutely. I want to thank
Stephanie, Allie, Maureen, Ikenge, Ruby, Janine, Janice, Allie, Raya, Kitty. We just want to appreciate everybody who, took part in this roundtable discussion, and want to thank USM, for holding this 3-hour telethon, which is usually 24 hours. That's why we need 24 hours, right? To show everything.
And I just want to join in saluting everybody. And I also want to thank everybody from USM that made this happen. Thank you to Brendan, who was the coordinator for Giving Tuesday. Once again here, did an amazing job. As well as, of course, Leah, Kara, Amanda, Dylan, Indigo, Virginia, Wendy, who coordinated phone banking, Wendy
Lisa.
Lisa Watson, behind the scenes.
And all of our donors.
All of
our
amazing
donors and supporters.
Camille, Frank, Virginia.
There you go.
We got a bunch more names.
There's so many people. I know we're leaving people out, but we just want to thank everybody.
Johan,
Jamie,
Virginia,
MQ.
Yes.
Luke MQ.
Redbeard.
All our St. Pete comrades, for sure.
Yes.
Camille, Redbeard.
Peg.
Jan.
Peg. Yes, Peg.
Jan, for sure.
Jan.
And everybody on here tonight.
Yes. So we're getting ready to close this out, but before we have any closing remarks, we just want to thank everybody again for donating, for making this a successful Giving Tuesday for reparations to African people, and also remind people that this Saturday is the Heart and Soul event, the NTU Heart and Soul Volunteer Appreciation Party. Here, I'm gonna pull that back up just to show you again. So if you're here in St. Louis, you can attend in person. If you're in St. Pete, you can also attend at the Enoch Davis Center there, or anywhere around the country or around the world. You can participate in this beautiful event happening this Saturday, the Heart and Soul 4th Annual Volunteer Appreciation Party. And Uhuru, wow, this was so powerful. So we're gonna close it out, and just want to see Chairman and President Ona, any closing remarks you'd like to say?
Go ahead, Chairman.
No, I just wanted to express my appreciation to everybody who has joined with this process on today, this Giving Tuesday. We're 17 hours? Well, no, it's 21 hours less than what we usually allocate for this process. So I wanted to thank you, and also I wanted to just acknowledge again Comrade Catherine, Comrade Kitty, who's not here. She must not be feeling well if she's not here, because she would be here. She's been with us under the most difficult circumstances for a long time. So just wanted to acknowledge Comrade Kitty again, and all of you. I mean, it's an extraordinary event, an incredibly important time to be alive and in this struggle. We represent so much. We always do, but during moments like this, with the kind of turbulence that we see occurring around the world, and this being the center, the headquarters of the majority of the contradictions people are experiencing everywhere, what we do now is just so significant, and all of us are. So I want to just thank everybody and say, Uhuru, Vanguard up.
Vanguard up.
Uhuru, Vanguard up.
Uhuru. Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, everybody. Unity through
Reparations.
Uhuru.
Uhuru.